Welcome, loyal Zone 4 Legionnaires, to another exciting chapter in the adventure of those stalwart heroes known the world over as Zone 4. In today's episode, we venture back in time to reveal at long last the secret origin of Zone 4. The time is 5 years ago, and a lonely figure walks through a forest clearing in Kentucky. Bowed down, he is lost in his own thoughts, scarcely paying attention to his surroundings.
So much for my idea of a weekly comic-related podcast. I mean, what would Carrie and Chuck and that other guy whose name I keep forgetting, all bowing out on me? Man, it just looks like there's no way I can keep a comic podcast going.
So lost in thought is young Brant Fowler that he fails to notice the thick fog creeping all around him.
Hey, what's this? Some kind of thick fog creeping up around me.
I just said that. Stick to your own lines, please. This is my voiceover.
Oops, sorry.
And soon, Brant was totally enveloped by the mysterious gray fog so that he could barely see anything. He proceeds cautiously, afraid he might trip over a tree trunk or a root.
Wait a second. Is this some kind of wall in front of me? No, hold on. It's a cave opening. And it seems to go inside this hill. Well, at least if I go in there, I'll be out of the fog.
Cautiously, Brant walks into the cave.
Wait, there seems to be some kind of light back there. Maybe somebody is camping out in here. Could be Boy Scouts. Or maybe some homeless dude. Or Bill Gladman. Seems about right for him. Or some escaped psycho killer waiting to pounce on me. Gesundheit! Wait a minute. Who's there?
Sorry I startled you, Brent Fowler. We don't get many visitors, you know.
You're an old man. Dressed up in a white robe with a long white beard.
And you're very perceptive for a kid wandering in a cave with no lights. This is what we wizards wear, don't you know?
You're a wizard? And wait a second. How'd you know my name?
I know a lot of things about you, Brant Fowler. Come, join me in my throne room, and I will explain everything to you.
Throne room? I don't know. Sounds a little bit sketchy. Whoa! All this light. This place is huge. And what are all those statues around the walls?
Why, Brent, I'm surprised. A comic book junkie like you? I thought by now you'd recognize that they're statues of famous comic characters. See? There's Superman, Spider-Man, Captain Marvel.
And Wonder Woman? The Hulk? Hey, is that Popeye over there? And Dick Tracy?
Exactly. This is the cave of Cartoon Wonders, my boy. And I derive all my power from these cartoon characters, from all the cartoon characters that have ever been created, both in comics and comic strips throughout time.
Your powers?
Indeed. I can tap into famous and fantastic powers thanks to these comic figures of the imagination, and soon, so will you.
Me? What do you mean?
I know you have been trying to launch an exciting new weekly comic-related podcast. Is that true?
Yeah, actually I have. You can help me with that?
Indeed. That's why I summoned you here in the first place.
That's amazing. But how can you help me?
By allowing you to find the 3 men destined to be your co-hosts on the most radical, innovative, wonderful, and stupendous comic podcast ever created.
Whoa! Tell me more.
All you need to do is repeat my name, and you will be transported to each of these special men in turn, until you have all assembled for the first time.
So, what's your name?
My name is Bacon.
Your name is Bacon, like in a BLT?
No, you cow-tipping dunce. It's Bacon. B-A-C-O-N.
Dude, that's what I just said.
You did not say bacon. Pronunciation is everything.
Okay, so what does it stand for?
I'm glad you asked. It stands for Batman and Catwoman often neck.
What? You gotta be kidding me. Seriously?
Look, kid, I don't make the rules. Are you going to do as I say or not?
Alright, don't rush me here. You say all I have to do is say your name and that's it.
For the most part, just put your hand out to your side. Yes, like that. Now tilt your head back slightly. Right. Close your eyes. Put your right foot in. Pull your left foot out. Put your right foot in. And shake it. Oh, wait, that's something different. Just imagine someplace fun.
Okay. Got it.
Good. Now say my name loudly.
Bacon! What? Hey, where am I? Hold on, I'm in the middle of a Comic-Con. This is crazy. The old guy was right. And somehow I teleported to,
Hey, buddy, would you mind moving away from my table so my fans can get by?
What? Oh, right, sure. Sorry about that. Wait, fans?
You look a little lost, kid. You okay?
Yeah, I guess. Say, are you some kind of comic book creator or something?
Damn straight I am. John Wilson, writer, editor, and artist extraordinaire. Hey, I'm here to meet my adoring public and let them bask in my greatness.
Wow, that's awesome.
Of course it is. So I take it you've never been to a comic show before?
No, not really. Actually, I was sent here by a magic wizard to recruit someone to be a part of my new comic-related podcast. I hope to produce it on a weekly basis.
That really sounds like a lot of work to me.
But it will reach thousands of people.
How many people?
Would you believe a few hundred now and then?
And you say you're recruiting for this podcast show?
Yeah, I want to get 3 other hosts because it's going to be called Zone 4.
Good name. It's got that Twilight Zone vibe to it. Okay, I'll sign on.
You will?
Sure, why not? Could be fun. What do we do now?
Gee, I don't know. Maybe if we shake hands and I say the wizard's name again, something will happen?
Really? Okay, shake on it. And oh, so very young, Brent Fowler and comic superstar John Wilson clasp hands.
Bacon!
Holy goat cheese on a Ritz cracker. What the hell just happened?
We got sent someplace else, I think.
But where? I don't recognize this place at all.
Okay, you see that giant metallic beamline structure on the corner? That means it's Chicago, and you're near Millennium Park.
Egads.
Didn't mean to shock you, but you both just popped out of thin air, and I'm really wondering what I smoked in college.
Oh, yeah, we're sorry about that, Mr.
My name's Gordon Demowski, and I have to tell you guys, that was a really cool trick you did popping up like that. You know, you're kind of like the Raston Warrior robot in the Doctor Who 20th anniversary special.
It would have been nice to have done it in a TARDIS. So you're a big fan of Doctor Who?
Yes, and in fact I help organize all sorts of Doctor Who related events, and I even found a bunch of lost episodes which I've returned to the BBC.
Cool. Well, I'm Brant Fowler, and this is John Wilson, the comic book creator extraordinaire.
Cool. I love comics, except for John's.
You do?
Totally. I mean, I grew up on the old classic DC and Marvel titles as a kid, although the stuff they publish these days...
Well, hot dog. Me and John are on a mission to recruit 2 more hosts and joining us to do a brand new comic-related podcast. It's going to air every single week. You know, just talk about stuff like comic books, movies, TV.
Oh, and Doctor Who?
Why not? It would add a whole new dimension to the show.
So what do you say, Gordon? You want to join us?
Sure, sounds like fun. What do I have to do?
Oh, brother, you're going to be sorry you asked.
Well, I guess all of us just put our hands together while I say the wizard's name again.
Wizard? What wizard?
It's a long story. I'll explain it later. Come on, put your hand on mine. All right, now you, John.
Okay, but hurry up. People are starting to look at us funny.
All right. Here goes nothing. Bacon!
Hey, are those clouds out that window?
Yikes! We're in some kind of flying machine.
Yeah, I think it's some kind of old airship or something.
It's called a dirigible. And who the hell are you three, and what are you doing trespassing on my bridge?
You see, come on, guys, help me out here.
It's your show, kid. Me, I want to find a parachute.
Look, I'm going to give you guys till the count of 5, then all you better start flapping your wings really fast.
Captain?
Fortier. Captain Ron Fortier. Airship 27.
Right. But will you see that guy over there, the dark-haired guy wearing the distinctive pajamas? His name is Brant, and he's trying to put together a podcast.
What the hell is a podcast?
Well, it's sort of like a radio show, only broadcast over the internet. All the kids are doing it.
Really? I love those old radio shows. You know, like The Shadow and Fibber McGee and Molly. Good stuff, old-time radio.
Exactly, and what Brant, along with me and John here, what to do is this weekly radio podcast show once a week. Oh, and by the way, I'm Gordon.
I see. And what's this podcast show going to be about? It's not some stupid reality show thingy. I hate those.
Oh, no. It's going to be about comic books and anything related to them.
Comic books? You mean like Challenges of the Unknown and Captain America?
Oh, hey, a man after my own heart. You like comics, Captain?
Well, hell yes, I do. I learned to read with comics. In fact, I've been a collector all my life. Though these days, I'm much more into pulps.
Pulps? The yummy stuff in orange juice? Tropicana's my favorite.
He means the old adventure magazines. You know, like Doc Savage and The Adventure and The Shadow he just mentioned?
Right. They were the magazines from which today's comics evolved.
Aha. That's why Bacon sent us here. Now I get it.
Bacon? Although I am kind of hungry, I don't think bacon is that powerful.
No, Gordon. Bacon's the wizard who made it possible for us to zap up here and meet the captain. He's magically brought us all together.
Bacon? A wizard? Are you guys on medication?
No way.
Well, define medication.
Look, Captain Ron, how would you like to be the 4th co-host on our new podcast show?
Me?
Sure, you can talk about pulps. Like Gordon will keep us up to date on television, and Brant and I will cover the world of today's comics.
Please say yes. This could be a really, really fun show.
All right, I'm in. But do you have a name for this show we're going to put together?
Oh, right. Yeah, we're going to call it Zone 4.
Well, that's really odd.
How so?
Well, look down there. You see that airport? The one we're heading for?
I see it. Over there, Brant.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I see it.
At the end of the main runway is a hangar I'm taking us to.
And that's significant because...
It's located in Zone 4.
And that, dear loyal Zone 4 Legionnaires, is how it really happened. Give or take a few tall whoppers.
Really?
No, I was just pulling your legs. Egads, you guys always this gullible?
Ouch, she got you there, Brant.
Hardy har.
Hilarity aside, is there any food in that hangar, Captain?
Sure. Why, Gordon?
Because right along about now, after the skit, I'm ready for some bacon.
Thus ends another laugh-filled romp in the daring crew of Zone 4. Thanks for listening, and good night, and may all your bacon be crisp.
Good night? We haven't even started the show yet. Guys? Where'd everybody go?
This kid is really starting to crackle my microphone.
And welcome back to The Zone. I am Brant Fowler.
I'm John Wilson.
I'm Gordon Demowski.
And I'm Captain Ron Fortier. And welcome, loyal Zone 4 listeners, to Zone 4 episode 264.
This is our big... Go ahead, John.
No, I just said yeehaw.
Yeehaw. This is our big, monumental, extra-sized 5-year anniversary episode.
Yeah, so if you're not doing anything for the next 6 hours, sit back and relax.
But we have a lot of stuff coming up, which we'll talk about throughout the show. But before we get into all that, we do have some sponsors this week.
Sponsor of the week!
Yay!
Yay, sponsors!
And first, as usual, our first sponsor is Audible.com. If you go to audibletrial.com/Zone4Podcast, you will get a free 30-day trial and a free book download, and it helps out the show when you do that. Does anybody have any Audible suggestions this week?
Only to comic book colorists out there, if you download 50 Shades of Grey, it's not what you think.
Nice.
It's not about coloring. It is definitely not about coloring.
No.
It's colorful. But
Well, for those people who've enjoyed our little skit, we referred to old time radio.
Mm-hmm.
If you go on Audible, you can actually rent old episodes of The Shadow and The Green Hornet and other old time radio shows. So it's a great way to kind of dip your toe into the field of online audio.
Yeah, absolutely.
And help out the podcast.
There you go.
And that's always good.
Yep.
All right, and our other sponsor is C2E2, which you can learn all about at C2E2.com. Takes place on April 25th through the 27th. Comic Related will be there at tables D1, D2, and D3 in Podcast Alley. John Wilson and Chuck Moore will be there, along with some other Comic Related family, like our very own Gordon.
Yep.
And some others. Decapitated Dan will be there. I don't know who else. But, yeah, it's going to be a fun time. All kinds of great guests. We always have a fun time at the show. I don't believe CR has ever missed a C2E2, so come by and say hi.
And there will be various artists signing and doing sketches and such all week long, or all weekend long.
At the Comic-related tables, yeah.
At the Comic-related tables.
Yep, absolutely.
There's a list.
There it is.
And on the off chance that you're in Chicago attending C2E2, all 3 days of it, I believe it's 3 days, right, guys?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. If you want to take a few hours away from the comic goodness there, jump in your car and come on down to Lombard at the Westin Hotel, where the 14th showing of the Windy City Paper and Pulp Convention will be going on at the same time. And the captain will be there with Airship 27 Productions.
Awesome. Very cool.
Yep. And just to keep everyone, if you do plan to do that, because I'll be Friday and Saturday, I'll be at C2E2. That Sunday, I'll be at Windy City because I'm running a panel with Ron and 3 other gentlemen whose names I'm blanking out on right now. You can get there by cab. And if you're going to drive, it's basically 290 west to, I believe it's 188 to 188, I believe it's further west. You get off at the Highland exit and you drive through and it's right near Target. So you don't have an excuse.
There you go. Chicago's the place to be.
Yeah. So you can meet 3 of the Zone 4 cast at the, 4. Yeah, 4 because Chuck will be there.
Right.
4 of the Zone 4 cast in Chicago If you
within a 25-mile radius.
Exactly. Thank you. All right, and we should also mention that we are proud members of the Comics Podcast Network. You can find us each and every week on comicspodcasts.com, along with a bunch of other shows, including other comic-related podcasts, and maybe more coming up in the future. So you can find us there, as well as Hall of Toys, as often as we do that, which we are going to be doing a couple episodes out here real soon, because the 1-year anniversary is today as we're recording this, April 10th. So for Hall of Toys, yeah.
Sponsor of the week.
All right.
So, and a nice segue into the anniversary show itself.
Exactly. So, yeah, 5 years ago last week, on April 3rd, Zone 4 was launched as part of the related recap. Not going to go into the full history of it because you got our secret origin at the beginning. But no, it's been a crazy ride up to this point. Changes here and there, new voices coming in. But Ron and John have been with us for a long time. So, and Gordon's been with us for a while now too. So,
yeah. I mean, just to ask. These anniversaries are a lot of fun and make you look back and reflect. And we play off it in the skit big time. Mm-hmm. But honestly, did you think it was going to go this long, Brant, when the idea came to you?
Honestly, no. It was just, when we started it was just this idea for us to get together, the four of us that, started it, mm-hmm. to talk about comics every week. And it was a way, because we were in so many different places. We had Jason in Australia, Chuck in Chicago, and Kerry was in various places as he was traveling with his work. And at the time he was in the Gulf of Mexico, I think. So, it was really hard to get together to actually talk, aside from, commenting on each other's blogs and everything. So it was just really a kind of a thing that we were going to try out, to just say, we'll see if this is fun. And, we had a good time, and then it just kind of snowballed from there and kind of became a thing. So, no, we really had no ambitions at that point of it being a long-lasting thing. So, mm-hmm. It's crazy how it got here.
Yeah, right. I can remember, listening to a couple of the first, the episodes when I joined the gang at Comic Related, and was listening to that and that every week, and the related recap. And for me personally, I think what happened was, a couple of years ago, one of you guys, Chuck, you or Kerry, got the idea of having me come on as a guest host, mm-hmm. one episode, and because somebody was absent, as you guys would do, rotate even then. And I came on, did the one show, and had a blast with you guys. And then it was within a month after that or something, Kerry and Chuck basically, had other things to do, whatever, and we're going to be retiring from regular hosting. And mm-hmm. you guys gave me a nod. I was tickled pink. I really was. And it's been a blast ever since.
Yeah, it was pretty much exactly like you said. So. And John, I think, came on really early. It was Jason had to go on and do other things. Like, I'm wanting to say it was like in the first few months.
Yeah, I think so. Jason had to leave, and I'm kind of like Jamie Farr. I came on for a couple of episodes and never left.
Never left. Yeah.
I'm kind of like Klinger on MASH.
Yeah.
There you go.
Plus, I dress in women's clothing when we do the podcast. But
oh, thanks for sharing, John. Thanks.
No problem.
Aren't you glad this isn't a video podcast?
Oh, and you do it to us. You do it to us who have this horrible, vivid imagination. Oh,
yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm picturing polka dots right now. But
so anyway, so I mean, with the new, revolving added host that we brought on in the last few months or so, off the top of your head, Brandon, not any specific. So what's the count now? How many hosts have officially become hosts of, Zone 4? What's the count? Do you know?
It's either 9 or 10 altogether of us. Let's see. There's the four of us. There's Chris, Chuck, Kerry, Mike. So that's 8, right?
Yep.
There's Frank Rayner.
So that's 9, and then Bill Gladman's kind of an honorary off again. So 9, 10-ish.
Yeah, you know what I'm getting from this automatically, all right? And please, our loyal lady listeners, we're not trying to be sexist. We really need to get a girl on this show. Big time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we do.
Well, we actually did have a girl on once.
Yeah,
so.
one time. Well, no, Lisa's been on.
Lisa's been on, too.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. I was thinking of Spaced from the Nerd Girls.
Yeah, right.
But I don't mind being corrected. So, ladies, if you're listening, send us do what I did to get on the show. Send an audio clip and a check for $5 to Zone 4.
And an 8x10 glossy of you in a bikini.
No. Ron. It's an audio. So,
I thought we were trying to be sexist.
I was just trying to think of you and Grant as you're on cash right now.
What'd you say, John?
He never said it had to be a woman in a bikini.
Oh, well. John, don't get any ideas.
Okay, so ladies, if you would like to audition, send like a brief 2 or 3 minute clip. Make it as wacky as possible. I'd say send it via Dropbox or any kind of file sharing thing to zone4@comicrelated.com. And also, like, what would you bring to the table? And don't just say, well, I'm a girl and you need a girl. You know, are you witty? Do you know about comics? Do you just want to hang out with us? I mean, do you think like, oh, screw John and Ron, you know, Brant and Gordon are the really nice guys and I want to hang out with them? Whatever. We will bring you in and you will become like family.
You know, John, I'm just thinking now, that's all I need is for my wife to walk in the middle of a podcast and hear some sexy voice on there, you know?
That's true.
We could be hanging ourselves here.
That's a good point, yeah.
But we do. And, you know, and I really want to underline what Gordon just said. To all our listeners out there and you guys, you know, if you have girlfriends that are into your, you know, comic collecting hobby and enjoy the same kind of things, get them to send us a test audio like you know, Gordon has described. It would be really, really awesome to have a girl join the host of Zone 4.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I remember that episode of Space, and that was a really great episode. We had a lot of fun with that one. And to be fair, we did kind of have a third one. John's wife has been in the background on a couple episodes. Of course, one of those was snoring, but that's beside the point.
It was done in a hotel room. So
it was, that's true. Yeah. At Heroes Con.
There you go.
Anyway, no, that would be awesome. So.
Yeah, well, we'd like to make the show a lot more representative of you know, the general comic, you know, fandom out there. And there are a lot of ladies out there who enjoy comics. So, you know, yeah.
And what better way to kick off our next 5 years?
Exactly. That's it.
Yeah. That way we'll have a 4th episode with a woman in it.
Okay.
All right. So, so it's great to be here 5 years later, and we're having a blast. We've mixed things up. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the changes that Ron mentioned with the new co-hosts and everything. And I think it's been really good for us because all of us have gotten to take breaks here and there, and it's kind of offered a bunch of different different tones of conversation when you throw in a Carrie and Frank together and stuff like that. It's just it's interesting. So hopefully you guys are enjoying it.
Segway!
But before we get too deep into this, we do have an audio clip. We have actually got several throughout this episode. So this is the first of many. So we'll be back with you in a second.
This is Tim Dog over at theclicknation.com. Just wanted to send out congratulations to the gang at Comic Related for their Zone 4's 5-year anniversary. That's a big accomplishment and nothing to take lightly. So hopefully many more episodes and years to come for you guys. Make sure to check us out on our website, theclicknation.com. We have 2 podcasts that you guys can check out, Comic Book Chronicles and The Click Nation Podcast. Thanks.
All right. So thank you very much for that. Congratulations. We appreciate it. And more of those to come throughout the show.
Comic book headlines.
So should we talk some headlines? We don't have many this week, but we got a couple.
Yeah, I mean, one is boring as hell, and the other one is crazy as hell. So it's the typical Zone 4 episode.
Exactly. And before we get into those, there was one other that I mentioned to you guys before the show. I'll go ahead and talk about that real quick. A bunch of fans and creators got together to recreate ROM's Space Knight #1, panel by panel, that was originally illustrated by Sal Buscema, who co-created it. And they did this for fun. It was 20 individual artists, each drawing a page of the original story. And like I said, they got together to do it for fun, but due to Bill Mantlo, who's also the co-creator, he was the guy that did the actual comic. He didn't create it, but he did a lot of the comic. He has fallen under some medical problems recently, so they decided...
Yeah, if I may?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because there's an article about a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, what happened was, I think it was the late 90s, Bill Mantlo was hit by a car, and it was a hit and run.
Yeah.
And he was banged up pretty badly. And a lot of, he can't write. He's pretty much bedridden. Mm-hmm. And so there's been a lot of effort to bring attention to the fact that he needs medical care. It's ongoing care. And so when we talk about this going for him, this isn't just like a guy who is sick. This is a guy who did a lot of work for Marvel
mm-hmm.
in the 80s and 90s, who and his story is very tragic. I mean, he was highlighted in a piece that was talking about freelancers and a lack of health insurance. I want to put this in context because this is not only a cool thing, this is a really worthy cause. This is not just, okay, we're going to throw a creator some money. This is a guy who really needs the money. Yeah. His family's taking care of him, and as someone who has to take care of a relatively ill parent, my heart goes out to him, and I throw for whatever it's worth, I throw my full endorsement behind this project.
Yeah, and the entire project, obviously, they're not. Its copyrights are owned, by who is it?
Hasbro, I think.
Yeah, Hasbro. Hasbro owns the copyright, so obviously they can't make any money off of this. What they're doing is they on every page, which you can read the entire thing on the Tumblr page, which I'll have linked in the show. It's romremix.tumblr.com, and each post page includes a link to the Bill Mantlo support fund that Greg Pak, another writer, posted on his website, and there's an address there where you can send donations and cards and all that kind of stuff to Bill Mantlo. So it's really cool that they did this as a fan thing and then turned it to support a fellow creator. So hats off.
Amen. You got it.
All right. So our other news stories, the boring one that Ron mentioned. There's a bunch of DC delays have been going on, and I'm sure you guys read the article, but the way this kind of affects things story-wise, and then we can go into more detail, is that this big event that DC's been having going on since kind of late summer last year is Forever Evil. It sprung out of Villains Month, which happens in September, and all this stuff. Well, we're at the end of the event, and all the books towards the end of the event have been delayed. They've been pushed back. Forever Evil #7, which is the last issue of the series, was supposed to come out at the end of March. Now it's being pushed back to the end of May. And because of that, all the tie-in issues had to be pushed back. And it's kind of like Civil War a few years ago where they had to push back, I think it was like issue 5 or something, and all the titles that tied into that. And everybody got upset about that. It's that same kind of situation. So.
Well, I mean, it seems inexcusable, especially for one of the big two. All right, I mean, come on. All right, you should have your ducks in a row, and I think this has been one of the recurring plagues in the comic industry that it doesn't operate on a like a regular publisher out there to some degree. And this just affects everybody. It affects retailers haphazardly. Really. And the average fan starts reading a series, wants the next issue out when it's supposed to come out. Then you go 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. You don't have the book. Then you walk in your comic shop, and there's two issues back to back, released the same way. It's like the kiss of death for any series that you're doing. It's just things have to be done on a timely basis. And the article that Brant gave us in the agenda to check this out. I mean, I've read through I think 80% of it, and it's all business things. It's all the charts and all this good stuff. But the impact, like I said, is the personal side of the comic industry. And trust me, once you start having books that are late, it makes you question, especially, like I said, we fellow creators, look, what the hell is their problem? I mean, you're not getting scripts in on time. You're not getting art in on time. Who are the people you work? There are a lot of unanswered things that this article simply doesn't address because it's looking at the business side of things.
Right.
But to me, it just shows that DC's house is still very, very much, since the creation of the New 52, very much in disarray. And that's another symbol of that.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And speaking to that, they're having so much trouble with the New 52. They're having so much backlash from it. This is kind of the worst time they could have a delay.
Yeah.
It's bad enough that things appear to be in such disarray, but when you can't even perform your primary function, which is the creation of and the distribution of comics, that's going to make you look bad, not only to the fans, but that's going to make you look really bad to your parent company.
Right. And on top... Oh, go ahead, John.
No, go ahead. I was done.
No. And on top of that, this week launched the first of the 3 weekly series that they're putting out this year.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, I mean, it's just
I wouldn't guarantee that.
Well, I'm just saying, they put out all these books are late, being pushed back a month or two, and then all of a sudden we're getting the weekly series. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, and this totally, to me, it shows that DC, their priorities are screwed up. Because if you can't consistently put out a monthly book, or even a special event on time, then what business do you have even trying to put out a weekly book? Right. I mean, because that means that at some point, either, deadlines are not being met, and that means that people aren't doing their jobs. And it's, yes, as fans, it's frustrating, but when you consider that DC is trying to compete in other areas as well, you'd think that would be the one place where, if we're going to argue that DC is more about movies and ancillary media than comics, you want those comics out there, if only because that way you're renewing your copyrights, you're making sure there's fresh content, blah, blah, blah. I mean, the delays, to me, it's typical, and I'm not surprised, but it just really shows what a sad state of affairs DC is in right now.
Yeah, and to make matters even worse, one of the books that is delayed is Suicide Squad, which I don't read, but it's Suicide Squad number 30. It was supposed to come out this week, and it's not coming out until May 28th. Well, today news broke that they are relaunching that series with a new number 1 in July. So 2 months later.
Yeah.
And Teen Titans the same way. They're ending that. I can't remember when it ends. Maybe this month. But they're relaunching it with a new number 1 in July too. So they're kind of pulling a marble.
I have to say, I'm going to be real surprised if that weekly book actually comes out weekly.
Yeah.
All the way through its run. It may get the first 1 or 2.
Well, I mean, the fact that they're adding the other weekly series next month.
Yeah.
So you're going to have 2 weekly series going side by side.
I just don't see it happening at all.
Hey, look, if you can't make canoes that float, don't try to sell me a yacht.
Yeah, no kidding.
Exactly. So yeah, DC. What more can we say?
Wacky, wacky DC.
So heading over to Marvel for some goofy news.
Oh, totally goofy news.
Deadpool number 27, which was the big wedding issue where Deadpool supposedly gets married. I have not read it. But apparently this cover has won a Guinness World Record for the most comic book characters on a cover. This is a thing, really? I didn't realize this, but okay. 232 characters are on the cover.
Oh, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. I pulled it up, tried to magnify it as much as I could on my monitor. Holy freaking smokes. Wow.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, I'm like, where's George Perez?
Yeah, exactly.
But man, yeah.
And what they said, Guinness confirmed 224.
Yeah.
So there's 8 they couldn't confirm. Okay.
I guess.
So there becomes the challenge zone for, Legionnaires. Find the 8 Guinness couldn't find.
I can tell you which one of them is right now. Probably is the big giant dog from the Inhumans. I can't remember his name at them.
Oh, you mean Lockjaw?
Yes, Lockjaw. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
That might be one of them. Who knows?
Oh.
Well, some of those may have been. Aren't there a couple of extra Deadpools running around in this? Or something?
Yeah, from the Deadpool core, there's Lady Deadpool and Dogpool's in there and Catpool. Yes, I know.
It's just too silly and funny. I got a kick out of it. I pulled that cover. I mean, I'm expecting to read tomorrow that the artist went blind the day after or something. Jeez. Okay.
I'm just wondering how they got Logan in that tux.
Very carefully.
So, honest to God, Zone 4 Legionnaires, even if you're not a Deadpool fan, next time you're in the comic shop, at least go pick up that cover and look at it.
Yeah.
You got to see this thing.
Yeah. And hats off. The artist Scott Koblish just wanted to shout it.
Yeah, good job, but
Yeah.
why?
Well, hey, he's got a Guinness World Record. I mean, that's
there
more
you
than
go.
a lot of his other covers.
That's true.
Until George Perez says, "Oh, I can beat that."
Challenge accepted.
Yeah,
I was doing this when your grandfather was in diapers, pal.
I can see George Perez going back through his covers. No, I know I've done more than that. Let's see. Count them.
Wait, let me look at Crisis.
Avengers vs. JLA. I'm sure there's more than that there.
Of course, Gordon, we could challenge Rob Liefeld to do this and we never see him again.
Actually, the sad thing is he'd take it up and he'd do like 300 stick figures.
And they'd all be Deadpool.
Yeah, it would be. And they'd have to get one of those industrial rolls of paper. Because with all the blasted shoulder pads and ridiculous guns and everything, there's no way you could fit that on regular paper. It'd be like a scroll.
But it wouldn't have to be that long because he cuts off feet anyway. So.
Well, yeah, that's true. Well, him and Jay Lee, but
Well, John, that's actually a very mean thing to say because if there's one thing I took from last week's episode is that Brant really loves Youngblood.
That's true.
And that's just very mean-spirited, and I don't think we should do that on this podcast.
It is. To take something that Brant not only loves, but nay worships like that. Like Youngblood.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was listening to the first year of Zone 4 episodes, and he's just gushing all over the place about how special Youngblood is.
I think that was the Australian guy. I don't think that was me.
You should see the shrine in his house.
I've heard.
It's both impressive and sad.
I can only imagine, and I don't want to do that.
Hi, Jason. How are you? I don't know how you are. You're probably not listening to this. No, anyway, 5 years later, we're still making Liefeld jokes.
There you go.
Doesn't get old.
Consistency.
All right, so that's all of our headlines this week. We in light news, I guess. But we have another audio clip, so we will pause for that and be back with you shortly.
Hey, Zone 4. Jay here from Comic Frontline, wishing you a happy anniversary and looking forward to even more years to come. Keep it going, guys.
All right, so once again, thanks for the congratulations. We appreciate it. Glad everybody is enjoying this show. So, have you guys been keeping up with Arrow?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. One question.
Yeah.
Was last night's episode a rerun or a new one? Because here in Chicago, they preempted it for a Cubs game.
It was
a rerun.
Oh, good. So I didn't miss anything.
No.
Right. The last episode, and I'm glad we're playing catch up to talk about the series because, quite frankly, as much as I love Arrow, the last episode they ran before going into reruns again, really bothered me. I really didn't care for it all that much. And spoiler alert here, folks. Basically, Slade Wilson, aka Deathstroke, has amped up his attack on Ollie and his family to the point where he kidnaps Ollie's sister and throws everybody in a tizzy. And they got to get it back. And he eventually gives out the secret that what's his name?
Malcolm Merlyn?
Was her father. Now, up until this point, I'm going, how the hell does he know that? Because that threw me for a curve. He shouldn't know that. All right. And again, most of the episode, he has the upper hand. Ollie and his team, the Arrow's team are all caught napping and all these ridiculous things. And in the middle of this episode, like I said, which had me really shaking my head going, come on, enough's enough, okay? Ollie and his mother's little soap opera relationship just seems to get much more maudlin and sappy, in this particular episode, where they're standing there and she gives them this whole weepy, monologue about family and this and that and this. It was like, my wife and I looking at each other, what is Days of Our Lives with bow and arrows? Come on, all right. By the end of it, I was really upset. It ends with, what's his sister coming back, knowing the secret. Roy's gone. He's taken off someplace. And pretty much everybody's looking like a bunch of goofuses. So I really hope this isn't where this is going to continue. I'd like to see, the Oliver Queen Arrow that, champions and, is the hero guy and come back with a little bit more straight action and finally, get the upper hand on the villain. We've gone through this all season long, back and forth. There've been some great episodes, some great guest stars, all this stuff. But this last new show that came out was the clunker of the season, and I really hope we don't see any more like that in a while.
Wow. I completely disagree with you.
Whoa,
I really enjoyed the episode, and I liked the fact that Deathstroke had them beat at every turn and was thinking 3 steps ahead. And because up to this point, Ollie and his crew have been smarter than everybody, and they've had it all together, especially with Felicity kind of managing everything. And now we have a villain that is outsmarting them at every turn, and I thought that was really clever. I liked the way that played out.
Okay, now, all right. Now, I have to ask you this, Frank. Okay. Again, my sitting up and saying, wait a minute, was that whole bit about Slade knowing about, Merlin being Ollie's sister's father. All right? Now, never mind, he tells her, okay? But when she comes back and confronts, and she comes back to the police station now on her own, there is Ollie, her brother, and there is her mother, both of which have kept this secret. Who do you think she should be the most mad at?
Well, probably her mom.
It has to be the mother. Come on, guys.
Yeah,
and she goes off on Ollie? I'd have looked at her and said, hey, that's your mother over there. Have it out with her. You know what I mean?
I think the reason being for that, I agree with you. She should have been more upset with her mom, but I think the reason for that is because earlier she told Ollie that you're the only one that doesn't lie to me and I can trust. And so it was kind of like you broke that trust and now I have nobody. That's kind of what I took from that.
Yeah, she kind of expects her mom to lie.
Yeah. At this point, yeah, definitely.
But she gets away unscathed. She's just standing off in the corner, letting you go at it. And I'm going, I just
find her to walk over and smack her.
It's like, how would you react? That's what I'm saying. You find out that your mom's been lying to you as to who your real father is, and you take it out on your brother because he kept the secret. Yes. I didn't buy it. She should have gone after her mother, tooth and claw.
Yeah, she should have gone after both of them, honestly.
Right. Well, to put this in perspective, One, consider that Arrow is on the CW, where a lot of the shows have that soap opera-ish quality. So you kind of need to throw that in. I also think that in that situation, if you find out who your parent is, you might be able to, and again, one way to think about it is, well, okay, maybe I can kind of accept that as my mom. She'll say anything. It might have been a one-night thing. That's fine. But for my brother to hide this and not tell me, and here I am trusting him, of course she's going to lash out at him. Because she's accepted that her mother's this Machiavellian, will say anything to get ahead. But the fact that her brother couldn't say anything, and I'm sure the next new episode will be the reconciliation on, you know what, Ollie, I realize you did it for my benefit. I'm sorry. So for me, it's not too much of a stretch because you're not going to go after, when you're that angry, you're going to go after the easier target. And at that point, the easier target was Ollie.
Okay. I'll accept that logic.
Right. And there's the other element of the episode, which I don't know if we want to spoil, about his partner, his business partner. Isabel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that was a blind side. That definitely was a blind side.
Yeah, I agree. John, have you seen it yet?
No, but I know.
Okay. All right, so anybody that hasn't seen it, you might want to fast forward a little bit.
Now, to tilt this back to the, positive sides of like I said, the season's been exceptional. The episode before this one, where they brought back, what's her name?
Huntress?
Yeah, was an excellent episode. That was amazingly well done, especially the way it ended.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Because, I get the vibes that, they could easily spin off a Huntress TV show from that.
Or even a Birds of Prey. Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. And also, before that one, it wasn't that great of an episode, but the Suicide Squad episode, I wanted to mention...
was just fun because it was a Suicide Squad.
Yeah, exactly. And I wanted to mention the one little Easter egg that they threw in there. I don't know if you guys picked up on it. When one of the inmates that Amanda Waller had, they just showed her shadow behind the door, and she's like,
the voice.
Yes, the voice. I'm a licensed therapist. Loved it.
Yes, totally sat right up when I heard that. I went, oh my God, yes, all right. That was a really good episode. I really enjoyed that a great deal. And again, that's a possibility that we could probably be seeing more of them in the future too. But I have to ask you guys this, okay? Because I've seen it posted online, including writer John Ostrander, who's one of the guys who created a lot of those Suicide Squad, the early incarnation when they first appeared, and had a lot to do with the creation of Amanda Waller. She's been going to Weight Watchers, hasn't she?
Yeah, that's the one. They've done that to her in the comics too. And I wish they left that untouched.
Yeah, Wall's a little bit more of a divider right now.
Yeah, there you go.
She's more of a room divider than a wall right now.
I know. It's just it's that entrenched Hollywood mentality, right? Because in the comic, as she was first invented, she is this whopping big black woman, and her nickname is The Wall. And she's smart, intelligent, powerful, conniving. I think one of the greatest, female comic characters ever created. And then, we go years and years, and now she's getting the Hollywood treatment. And I'm like, oh, come on. That's just...
Yeah, blame the New 52 for that, too, because they did that, too.
Yeah, of course.
Yep.
Yeah, probably that, and Pam Grier was probably not available.
Yeah.
Because that was the one redeeming thing about latter half of Smallville, was she was a dead perfect Amanda Waller.
Yes. I agree, totally. Yep.
I definitely agree.
But going back to Isabel, basically she turns out to be against Wally and kind of stole the company from him, which, you could see that coming kind of. But, when she had him sign it over.
Oh, yeah. That was such You
Yeah.
knew that was bogus. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, this is going to play out not to his liking.
Yeah. But I don't. Have you guys seen the images that they've leaked online with her for future episodes? You've not
No.
seen this? Oh, do you want me to spoil it?
have.
I know John has.
I've heard rumors. Is she a variation on a character we may have seen before in DC Comics?
Yes.
Okay.
She. All right, Ron. Do you want me to spoil it or no?
Go ahead.
All right. She is wearing a. I'll give you a hint. She's wearing a pseudo Deathstroke mask.
Okay.
So Ravager.
Okay.
So
All right.
that's what there have been a couple of pictures that have come up online with her in that getup. So that's kind of where they're leading. So that's why she's that character now, I guess.
Okay. So, but I want to ask you guys, where do you think they're going with Roy Harper, and how that's going to play out to the end of the season?
I don't know. I mean, he left
He'll
the
come
city.
back as Arsenal.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, because he started to teach him a
Yeah.
little bit of archery, but that super drug that's ravaging his body is still playing havoc with his his own stability as it is. So yeah, that's not a bad thought, John.
I will mention this because we kind of gave them crap at the beginning of the show for calling it Starling City instead of Star City.
Mhm.
As he's leaving, I don't know if you guys picked up on this, but on the billboard where it says you're now leaving Starling City, it had Star in quotations, like that was the nickname of the city. So I appreciate they at least gave that nod to us eventually.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I don't know. He was leaving the city, so I don't know what they're planning on doing with him. Maybe he's going to pop up in the Flash series. Who knows?
Yeah.
Ooh, all right. Yeah, I'm kind of anxious for that to show up. I'm really going to be anxious to see how that plays out. But again, like I said, mine is my nitpicky for that one episode here. I think Arrow's been really, really good this season, and I'm kind of anxious for it to get back with new episodes to get to the finale, because we have to assume it's going to be the climatic battle between him and Slade.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we still haven't seen the backflash where Slade loses his eye yet.
Yeah, that's true.
Ooh.
So, I don't know. I love this series though. It's really fantastic.
It is well done. It is, for the most part, extremely well done. Yep.
All right. So, with that, we do have another audio clip, so we'll pause for that, and we'll be back with you shortly.
Hey, this is Tyrell from Castbender Podcast, a weekly show about the animated series Avatar, The Last Airbender, and The Legend of Korra, and we're here to congratulate Zone 4 on 5 years of podcasting. That is a huge goal and milestone, and we hope you find success in the next 5. See ya.
All right, so it's time for a Facebook shout-out.
Oh!
We couldn't have the splat. We couldn't have the 5-year anniversary without at least one, and we do have a new like on the page. So this is David T. Allen, who actually is one of the 2 guys that provide comic related with the MegaCon coverage from Orlando, Florida every year, and he co-writes them with Todd Latosky, and we appreciate those every year because we can never make it down there for the show. So they've been really gracious with giving us articles and everything, and panel recaps and interviews and that kind of thing. He lives in Deltona, Florida, so it makes sense that he would be at MegaCon, of course. He is a fan of Epic, the movie, Harry Potter. He likes Disney Pixar. He supports Make a Dread sequel, as do I. So
Yes!
Did you guys see the video posted by Carl Urban?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I shared it with like 200 people.
Yeah. In TV, he likes Survivor, Dancing with the Stars, The Big Bang Theory, Wonder Woman, Dallas, Dark Shadows. So, and books, Harry Potter again, big Harry Potter fan, and doesn't have music listed, so he does like Zone 4 though, so that's awesome. And so thank you, David, for the like on the page. We appreciate your support. And again, thank you for the MegaCon articles from me and Todd. We appreciate that as well.
And if you ever need guests at MegaCon, there's 4 people here that wouldn't mind.
Yeah, there you go. And, of course, if you'd like to get a shout-out on the show, all you have to do is head over to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Zone4Podcast and hit the like button. And we will shout you out on the show. Be nice like me or make fun of you like John normally does. Either way, it's all in love.
Make fun of people? No.
No, that never happened.
No, that never happened.
Segway!
All right. So, now we actually have a special treat for you. This is a Hall of Toys segment that Lisa, Chris, and I recorded recently. It's a clip from a show because we were only supposed to do like a 20-minute segment here. We ended up doing an entire show. So you're just going to get a sample of that, and then the full show will be released later on. So we will pause for that, and we will be back with you shortly. And there will also be an audio clip following that, so we'll be back after that.
Hey, this is Kat Comic Uno, and I'm wishing Zone 4 a happy 5-year anniversary.
And welcome back to this special segment of Hall of Toys. I am Brant Fowler.
I'm Chris Ventura.
And I'm Lisa Moore.
And we are happy to celebrate Zone 4's 5-year anniversary.
Happy birthday, Brant.
Thank you. Well, congratulations, self. But no.
Are you congratulating yourself?
I just did that, yes.
Yeah, that's congratulations.
I'll congratulate you too. You're part of both of you are.
I know. I was gonna say it's a congratulatory, celebratory. That's the word. It's a celebratory moment.
It is
very much.
Mm-hmm. And also, as this 5-year anniversary episode of Zone 4 goes live, Hall of Toys just celebrated its 1-year anniversary yesterday, I think. Yeah, something like that.
I hope so.
Yeah, April 10th. We'll just put it out there. April 10th was a Hall of Toys 1-year anniversary, so I can't believe we've been doing this for a year already. We've only put out, 15 episodes?
It's not my fault.
I didn't say it was anybody's fault. It's just the way it is.
And this is only my 2nd episode, so it doesn't really count for me.
If you're gonna blame anyone, blame my brother.
Sure. It's always Mike's fault anyway.
Yep.
That's the
Spider twerk.
Hashtag spider twerk.
Hashtag spider twerk.
Poor Mike.
One day soon, when Frontline News episode 2 or 3 comes out, you guys will understand.
It's a hashtag spider twerk, hashtag rock on little pony.
Oh.
He's going to kill me.
I'll make sure he doesn't hear this part of the episode.
No, just let him hear it. I don't care.
Okay, then.
But, no, if you have not listened to a Hall of Toys before, it is a shoot-off spin-off of Zone 4. It's its own show. We talk about toys and video games and board games and stuff like that. And it started off bi-weekly, went to monthly, and now it's like whenever. So.
We're going back, starting the month of April, to a once-a-month podcast.
We'll see.
And if enough toys come out, I'm not listening to you anymore, Brant. No, we're doing it once a month. We're doing it, or else I'm going to grab Michael and I'm going to put him in, and you're not going to like it because there's going to be spider twerks all over the podcast.
It's audio. I don't care. You can do that.
I will send you video personally.
I don't have to watch it.
Oh, I won't title it Spider Twerk. Okay. You'll never know. I'll talk to Ron and the others. They'll send you like special videos and stuff. You'll never know. I have an endless amount of friends of ours.
All right.
I don't know where this is going, but anyway, we're going back to once a month at least.
Yeah, and we are going to do a special 1-year anniversary episode, of course. That'll probably come out next week as you're listening to this. So if everything works out. But yeah, this is just going to be a shortened version of the show to give you kind of a taste of what Holo Toys is all about. And, if you like it, go check out the rest of the episodes. All of them are up on the Zone 4 website or in the Zone 4 feed and all that good stuff, comic related. And new episodes will be up on Comic Frontline. So
there you go.
Cool. So with that, should we dive into some toy talk?
Yes.
All right. You want to start us off? Or...
I would love to.
Okay.
Either way, Lisa, would you like to start us off?
Sure. I could do that.
Okay.
So they sort of all go together, these first four. Chris was kind enough to pick them out for me.
You're welcome. Don't blame me for the money.
Yeah, that's the bad part. It's $60 a piece.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's basically Disney Princess Storybook figurines, kind of.
The statues.
Statues. But they each have the open book with Once Upon a Time and then a different princess couple. Except, oh, man, I got my links out of order. I can't believe it. Oh, wow.
Now you know how I feel.
We were talking about not doing it, and I do it. Figures. So there's like Snow White and Prince Charming and Belle and the Beast, Ariel, and it's a little sad. It's Ariel and the statue of Eric, not Eric. And and then Cinderella and her prince, who I do not know his name.
He never had a name. I don't think he ever had a name. Even in
Is it just Prince Charming too? I'm pretty sure Snow White's was Prince Charming.
It says right here, Cinderella and her prince. No name.
Oh, wow.
Now I have to look this up because that's going to bug me.
So they're really pretty cool, and I like the style. I actually have a Tinkerbell figurine in this, or statue in this style, and sometimes they have a tendency to do busts, so just like the head of the character, this company, and so I'm glad that these are full figures. I hate the ones that's just their floating head there, but these are really cool.
You're welcome. Don't blame me again for money. It's only $240 for all of them.
Well, I think I'd have to pick one, but see, that's the problem.
Yeah.
And I think I like Ariel best, but I really don't want her just sitting there with her statue man.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say you could pick Ariel and she won't be forever alone.
I guess that would work.
Okay. IMDb lists him as Prince Charming, so...
So there are two Prince Charmings?
Either
or
that
I've
or
got
that dude's...
Snow White mixed up.
Yeah, either
His
that
name
or
is
that
Charming.
dude's not too moral. Let's see. As I feverishly look through
Let's see.
IMDb.
I love
Yeah, it just says Snow White and her prince, so I might be wrong about that one.
You mean Cinderella? Oh, you're looking up Snow White now?
Yeah, I looked up Snow White too.
Apparently Disney doesn't care about their princes. They only care about their princesses. So,
no,
guys...
the prince in Snow White was just Prince.
Wow.
And
I
not
got
the
it wrong
singer.
then. I have them mixed up.
Interesting.
Well, I always say Snow White and Prince Charming, so I've just been wrong all these years.
On the Once Upon a Time TV show, they call him Charming, so...
Oh, yeah, they do.
Mm-hmm.
So it isn't just me.
Yeah. I guess they're both...
I don't care what their names are. They're men. They got the princess. Congratulations, you're in the Disney parade.
He's two-time in Cinderella and Snow White. That's not cool, man. That's not cool.
In Disney, there's no such thing as that. They're different men. Hey, wait, what if they're brothers? Prince Charming 1 and Prince Charming the 2nd.
Let's go with that theory.
Yeah. Works for me.
Okay, then we're going with that theory. Brant, what do you got next so we can get away from the princesses?
Did you talk about the Tinkerbell one? Because I totally missed that if you did. I apologize.
No.
Okay.
No. You want to talk about the Tinkerbell one?
I was just asking. I was asking Lisa if she talked about the Tinkerbell one.
I didn't. We can. It's another figure or statue. This one's even more expensive though, so I can't even think about it.
Sorry. It looked nice.
It is really nice. She's like, I guess that's grass or something.
It's part of the dress, I thought.
Is it part of her dress?
I think so.
She's got a really weird dress on then. It's a really long train, but it's really cute, and she's got flowers growing all over her dress. But yeah, $65 for that one. I think it's made by the same.
That's $5 more than the other one.
I know. That's a lot.
Did you see that also in that line they have Jasmine, Rapunzel, Ariel as well?
Yeah,
Oh,
I didn't want to overpower Lisa. Thank you.
Sorry.
I might like Rapunzel. Now I've got to look it up. But y'all can continue now.
So I got to ask you, of all those that we just talked about, what would you buy of those if you had to pick one?
I think Belle and the Beast.
Okay.
The storybook statue.
Yeah, I like that one best of those two.
Or Ariel.
Sorry, I want her to be happier with a real Eric.
Instead of the statue.
You need to be happier, Ariel, or else it doesn't work. You're not working for us.
Alright, so next up we got a couple of Godzilla figures, which I know Chris is excited about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
First one.
It depends which one you're talking about. There's one that I got because I thought they were funny, and one I got because I actually liked it.
Okay. The first one is the SH Monster Arts.
No, that one I like. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's $67. Scheduled to arrive in August. This is post-Meltdown Godzilla Jr. Revival. I guess. I don't know what that means, but whatever. I
only have one comment.
Yeah.
The fire looks really odd.
It does.
Yeah!
It's kind of like he's puking it. I don't know.
Exactly.
Well, he had tacos.
Okay. I do like the next picture of him though, where he's like leaning back, his head's back. Obviously, he has a lot of articulation to be able to do that, but yeah. That's kind of cool. It's like,
nice.
And then, then the other one is the Godzilla Egg series.
That's the funny one.
I don't even know what to say about this. He transforms into an egg in 3 easy steps.
What?
Into an egg?
Why?
Into an egg.
Why?
Oh my goodness.
Why? Why do we get this figure? Why is it even here?
I don't know.
Why?
It would make a really interesting Easter egg hunt.
But
no.
when he's in egg form, you can still see his arms. It's like it's this little
like
blob
a
of
turtle.
arms.
His head goes in his chest.
That's weird.
I don't like it. At least the other one is nicer.
Crazy. Alright, what's up next? Christopher.
There was Mothra also.
Oh, I'm out of order then.
Yeah, you are out of order. There's Mothra.
Let me see. I don't have Mothra pulled up, so you have to talk about
Oh, there it is.
with Mothra, the egg.
Oh.
Yeah, the baby. Oh my god, I just looked at that picture. That doesn't look right. Well, the baby and Mothra are doing a explicit thing, and then you close Mothra's wings around the baby.
What?
And look at the picture.
I didn't have
really
it pulled
weird.
up. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I'll send you the link so you can look at it right now.
No, I've got it now.
Okay. Look at the folding step.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the closing. Okay, I take it back. This one isn't as wholesome as I thought. I'm done.
Oh, God.
Can we move on to my pick now?
Please.
Transformers 3-inch vinyl figure exclusive Ultra Magnus in a white and bright, like an aqua blue. This figure is really nice. I'm a huge fan of like the white figures and especially the limited edition kind.
Racist.
Wow, really? And I got yelled at on Zone 4 a couple of weeks ago.
That did not make air, so don't even talk about that.
Yeah, Brad probably wants to kill me with the editing of that part.
You know, the weird thing about this figure is it doesn't look like Ultra Magnus, it looks like Optimus Prime.
It does, doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
It looks exactly like Optimus Prime in white.
Yep.
Maybe they just repainted it, and it was Optimus Prime.
It probably was.
Oh, it absolutely is. That has to be. So, that's mine. Anybody want to... Unless you want me to do another one, since everybody took, like, multiple.
Yeah, go do the Pacific Rim ones. I know you love those.
I wanted to stay in the same genre, at least, for this.
Okay, then do something different.
There's the Chi G32 mini-con set, which is, I think, 3 mini-cons that come together to form a gigantic one.
Yeah, I like that. That was cool.
Yeah, it doesn't have a name. It literally just says TG32 mini-con set. So there's no names. It just literally says the trio includes ground vehicle, a jet, and a helicopter. No names. No nothing. This is the description, people.
I know. It's messed up. I don't know, though, that aside, because that is pretty lame, but I've always liked the combiners in Transformers, all the ones that form together to form a giant robot. I always loved those.
I had the original Constructabots that made the
Constructicons.
the Constructicons that formed Devastator.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I hate myself for not knowing where they are right now, but I know they're in the house still.
I love those, and I love the aerial bots that form Superion.
Oh yeah, I never got those though.
Yeah. And I love the Stunticons, even though they were kind of a joke.
I don't know those.
You know, there were 4 sports cars in a big truck that looked like Optimus Prime, only it was black and gray, and they formed a giant Transformer. And there was an episode.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there was an episode of the cartoon where Optimus and some of the Autobots disguised themselves as the Stunticons and tried to form the thing, but then they fell apart. So.
Wow, is that part of Gen 1? Please tell me that's part of Gen 1 and I have it.
Oh, it has to be, yeah.
Oh, good. Find out what episode it is. I'll watch it like right after this. I need to get a good laugh.
Cool.
Alright, so Lisa's back up.
I am?
Yeah.
Just pick something.
Oops. Accidentally closed.
Nothing.
I don't think I know anything about the things that are left.
Okay.
So, back to Brant.
That's fine. Guardians of the Galaxy Marvel Platinum Legend Series 1 set of 6 has these all come with a piece of Groot. So if you get all of them, you can form Groot. Of course, you got Nova, Drax, Rocket Raccoon, Gamora, Star-Lord, and Iron Man. Jeez.
I only have one question.
Mm-hmm.
Why the heck is Iron Man part of this set?
I guess they needed an additional part for Groot's leg.
They needed a leg. They needed a leg, so they just went to Iron Man.
Yeah. I mean, he was in the comic for a while, for like the first arc, wasn't he? Or something.
Yeah, it's true. But I mean, the original 4, like the 4 from the Guardians of the Galaxy, are from the movie, and then you got Nova from the comic. I guess, yeah, you could go with Iron Man.
Yeah.
It's coming out in the second quarter of 2014.
Mm-hmm. And they're 6 inches, of course. And $135 for the whole set.
Yeah, I think Marvel's getting a little pricey with their Legends line. Now, I know they complain about, well, we give you articulation, we give you good paint, we give you good everything. You do realize, Marvel, that there are kids that still would like to buy your products too, right? I mean, adults buy it, but there are kids out there that look at it and go, "Ooh, I want that figure, $60." My mommy and daddy don't give me that.
Yeah, I do really like that Nova figure, though.
I like Nova. I love Rocket Raccoon.
I don't really like that one. I don't know. His face looks weird.
Yeah, he kind of looks sad.
What was it I was reading? Not to sidetrack, but I think it was Guardians of the Galaxy number 14 or 13, the end of the trial of Jean Grey. When they came back to Earth, Groot kept trying.
I know what you're going to talk about.
Groot kept trying to talk to the trees, and Rocket was like, "Stop talking to the trees. It's they're not what you think," and all this stuff. And then 2 raccoons come out of the woods and approach him, and he's like, "Put some freaking pants on." It was hilarious. Sorry.
Oh, Rocket. That part made me laugh too. So you're not alone there.
I thought it was funny. All right, Avengers Infinite 3.75 inch figure series 1. I'm doing this for you, Dan. I know you're listening. So he hates the 3.75 figures.
I love you, Dan. I tried to talk him out of it.
He did, but no. This comes with Platinum Hulk, Platinum Hyperion, which looks really cool. Platinum Wasp, Heroic Age Iron Man, Captain America, and Grim Reaper. And just kind of gloss over the last one. But I don't know. I like the Hyperion figure.
I like the Hulk one because it's more of the up-to-date Hulk, and I like the Wasp figure.
Gotcha.
They're all very shiny.
They are?
Yes. They're platinum.
Is that why they're shiny?
Yeah. The shiny figures usually are platinum, yeah.
Oh, cool.
$115 for the set. Individually, I think they're around $13. At least I.
For 3-inch figures?
Yep. Hey, G.I. Joes nowadays are like $10 to $12, maybe sometimes more.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. I think.
Huh. Go ahead, Chris.
I was just gonna say one thing, and then I'll switch it over to Lisa. I was gonna say I think the toy companies really need to rethink their how much they're charging people nowadays for their little figures. Now, Lisa, what were you gonna say?
I was just surprised that they were that expensive, so I just said really.
Yep.
Yeah.
I used to pay like $2 or $3 for G.I. Joe figures.
Hyperion.
Yes,
Hyperion is $13. Heroic Age Iron Man's on clearance for $5. Captain America's on clearance for $5. Platinum Grim Reaper is $12.99. Platinum Hulk is $12.99. And then X-Force Wolverine is $6. I don't know why.
Well,
there.
That's a good deal for Cap. If you wanted.
Yeah.
Captain America.
I'm on a website with a bunch of G.I. Joe toys. They are ranging anywhere from $9 to $13, $15. Some of them are $20.
Is it just one figure?
No, it varies. All the figures. Yeah.
No, I mean, do they come with more than just one little dude?
Yeah, just one guy and accessories. Yeah.
Wow.
And they're 3.75-inch figures. So.
There's a lot of 3.75-inch figures that are on clearance right now. Iron Fist, Iron Spider-Man, Captain America, another version of Captain America, Ghost Rider, $7. Wasp is back ordered. She's on pre-order for $15. It's a sad world when figures are $6.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, but I mean, when their original price, no, absolutely, I 100% agree, but when their original price is $19 and they have to drop it all the way down to $5.
Oh, you must, they didn't sell well.
Oh, look at this. Scuba Gear Spider-Man's only $3.62.
How surprising is that?
I'm going to stop looking at these figures now.
I remember when Batman the Animated Series figures were new, like when the show was still in the air. They had every single kind of Batman you could think of.
I remember I was a kid when that happened, and I wanted every single one, and there was like
so
100.
did my brother, yeah. And he got a bunch of them. He had like 3 or 4 Robins and several Batman.
I had a lot of Robins, and I got a couple of Batmans. I was more of a Robin fan.
Yeah.
At times.
But it made me think of that because they actually had a Scuba Robin and the Scuba Batman back then.
Too many figures.
All right, so what's next?
I saw.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No,
I
go
was
ahead.
gonna say I saw a Batman figure on Amazon. It was like from the TV show, I think, where he's like in board shorts with a surfboard.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought that one's pretty funny.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Dan got most of those figures.
He did. I think so, yeah. That's too funny.
So you're good?
Yeah.
Nothing else? No more 375-inch figures you want to mention?
No.
Give Dan more of a heart attack?
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Next thing I want to talk about is the Marvel Chess Collection. It's called the Marvel Chess Figure Collection. It's basically the Avengers versus the supervillains in the Marvel Universe. Right now, the figures that are out are Iron Man, which is collection number 2, Wolverine, which is collection number 3, which you guys can see, and Loki, which is number 4. Spider-Man, which is number 1, is I believe coming out the week of the 9th. Along with Cap and a few others, so they're gonna really pile them on next week. But I actually decided I used to buy the Eagle Moss lead figures, and I said, you know what? Let's see how they're doing with the chess pieces. I gotta say the chess pieces are actually not including the stand. Before you say something, Brent, you'll be like, well, the stand makes them taller. The figures themselves are taller.
Okay.
And they have a lot. The Eagle Moss do a lot of good. I thought you were going to say something. I'm sorry. I slapped myself for that later. They have a lot of nice detail to it.
Yeah, I was gonna say the sculpt is really nice on Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
It's Lisa. Remember when you were telling me about that figure, the little figure you had that you have the intricate painting for it?
Mm-hmm.
That's what these figures remind me of all the time.
Yeah. They're really nice. I like them.
And that's all I got. That's 2.
So are you going to get them, Chris? All of them?
Right now, there's the White Knights and then there's the Black Knights. Right now, I'm focusing mostly on the White Knight side. But from what I'm seeing on the supervillain side, I might just skip Loki, or I might just wait on Loki and get everything else and then come back for Loki. But for the most part, I think I'm going to be getting if it's too expensive, at least the Avengers side. And Venom.
Well, that's one way to win the game. Just play half the side.
Well, I mean, I'm never going to play chess.
I know that.
I have no idea how to play chess.
I love chess.
I have no idea how to play.
I'm not very good at it, but I at least know
how
they move.
My family taught me how to play checkers, so we can play checkers if you want. But I don't know how to play checkers.
I was taught how to play when I was like 6 or 7.
Well, I'm glad that everybody had a great childhood. I played Mario.
I played a lot of that too. I'm just saying. I'm just saying I learned how to play. Not everybody does. I'm just saying I did.
We'll just teach you. We'll teach you how to play chess someday.
There you
go.
go.
I'm moving to Texas, and that's like the first thing on the agenda is to teach me how to play chess.
Okay.
All right, then. At my job, ironically, there's a group of people that actually there's like a room where they have people playing chess.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I've watched from outside the room, but I'm like, I have no idea what you people are doing, Tom. It's like this guy picks his pawn up and goes all the way across the board. I'm like, in checkers, you can only move one square at a time. I'm already lost.
It depends on the piece. They all have different movements.
Yeah, I know. I was with the chess pieces. You get a book, and it explains what each, like for example, Wolverine's a knight. It explains the moves you can make with the knight. And if you want, actually, it says right here, if you wish to learn how to play, get the first book, which is Spider-Man, and there's a how-to book for idiots. They didn't say idiots. I'm adding the idiots part.
I'm glad that you just added that. It wasn't in there.
Marvel said it, not me. Never mind.
I think it's funny they only include the thing how to play with one of the pieces.
Yeah, the first one. How about that? Thank you, Marvel. But at least the first figure is Spider-Man. So honestly, if you're gonna buy these, you know you're gonna. That's the whole reason why Mike and I wanted to start this, was for Spider-Man, and then we just decided to get them all.
Nice.
Cool. I considered a Lord of the Rings chess set at one point.
That would be cool.
Just because it was really nice.
That was, yeah, I saw that set too. It's really nice.
I have a Coca-Cola one.
Is it of the bottles or with the polar bears?
You know, I don't remember. It's been so long since I've looked at it.
I hope it's the polar bears.
Would be nice.
I love the polar bear. Let's pretend that it's the polar bears.
Okay.
Yes.
And each different type is a different pose for the polar bear.
That would be kind of cool, yeah.
And then the pawns are the little polar bear baby. Okay, so Brent, you were so happy about Pacific Rim, you could take those two Pacific Rim things down.
You're the one that loves that movie.
I like the concept of big robots fighting big monster thingies, but yeah.
Alright. So, first off, we have the Pacific Rim 7-inch figure Essential Jaeger series. I assume that's how you pronounce it. I don't remember. Crimson Typhoon and Striker Eureka.
Eureka!
Which, these actually do look kind of cool.
I know.
Yeah, $39.99, which is not bad. Estimated to arrive June 2014, of course. Let's see. Fully articulated, highly detailed. Created directly from the digital files used by ILM in the making of the movie. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, that is cool.
Mm-hmm. I really like the one on the right, the silver one. Is that
Blue?
Striker?
Yeah, that's the Eureka. That's Eureka. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Crimson Typhoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one.
What, you like the Crimson one?
I just think it looks cool.
Okay.
Looks like he has a tumor in his shoulder.
It's armor. Come on.
Okay, he has a tumor in his armor. And he has hooves, it looks like, for feet.
So does the other guy.
Yeah.
I was just going to say so does the other one does, so it's okay.
And then we have the also the 7-inch Ultra Deluxe Kaiju Scunner, which is that one that was the one that was in towards the end, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not the very end, but he was one of the later ones in the movie.
Yeah.
That must be the link that I accidentally closed.
Okay. he's got that like pointy nose thing. Yeah.
Those are horns. His nose is in the middle.
Okay. It says his appearance and behavior are akin to that of a bull. I would have never guessed that. But, yeah.
He's a cute little fella, isn't he?
So. And what's next?
This I wanted to bring up because this is huge. Pop is going to be releasing this month. I guess this is the month they chose out of the entire year to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Ghostbusters. So,
Sorry.
heck yeah. So to celebrate Pop, which we all know, the wonderful Funko Pop figures, which literally there are new Funko figures almost every week. They're Funkoizing, they're popping everybody from TV to movie.
They're popping everybody.
They're popping them all. They're putting them out one by one.
Oh, shoot. They must be
I had to
fans.
stop. I had to stop a second for that one. But they're doing everything, and because it's the 30th anniversary for Ghostbusters, they've already done Transformers. So anybody who's going to say, what about the 30th anniversary for Transformers? Well, maybe they'll make something later on in the year. But for right now, April, they are releasing Egon, Peter Venkman, Ray, and Winston in the Ecto-1, along with Slimer, actually. And then in, I believe, May, I want to make sure before, and then in May, they're releasing a 6-inch, oversized Stay Puft Marshmallow Man Pop vinyl figure. The normal size for the Pop vinyl figures is, I believe, 3.75 inches. So Stay Puft is going to be basically double the size.
Well, that would make sense.
Indeed.
That's awesome. I hadn't even noticed that.
Yeah, I didn't either until you said it. That's awesome.
Yeah, I know they all look like they're the same size, right?
Yeah.
But I've already pre-ordered every single one of the figures that are coming out, plus the Ecto-1, because if you want Winston, see, I like how people get you. When there's a group and they have a car, they'll give you most of the group, leave one out, and stick them with the car. So if you want the whole group, you have to buy the car. I know a few people that'll go, oh yeah, we just won't have Winston then, I guess.
Poor Winston.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been a smarter marketing move, in my opinion, to have Winston alone and put Ray with the car. He's the one that found it in the first place.
Yeah.
But then again, at New York Comic Con every year, Winston's right next to the car, so. Makes sense!
Well, I think they all look fantastic. They're really good.
And the one thing I would love...
Detailed. More
Oh, yeah.
detailed than usual.
Very. And the one thing I want to point out is the thing I saw before we started recording. Brant will post a picture of one of them, I'm sure, in the show notes just for this reason. If you look at the bottom right-hand corner of any of the single-issue Pop vinyl figures, it says for ages 14 plus. When did Funko figures become so dangerous that kids that were younger than 14 can't touch them?
Maybe it was a mistake.
What was this going to say? For ages 4 plus?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's
I
weird.
just found that funny.
I'm going to
What
look
do
on some of the
Do
others.
the normal ones say anything? Like the...
Lisa, I honestly wish I had one just to...
I have one in a box right over here.
Look at the box.
I just looked at the SpongeBob ones. They don't have anything like that.
I see the My Little Pony one right here. I'm on the Google thing because I was going to make fun of Mike with it later, and it's the Amazon exclusive, and they don't have it on their box either.
Yeah. I'm looking at the Hobbit ones. They don't either, and they have accessories.
Adventure Time doesn't. And
No, they don't have anything.
So why in the world?
Why?
I don't understand.
We're trying to understand you, Funko. Help us to understand you.
That is really strange.
Ooh, I want to get Stitch. I just found Stitch. I didn't know they had a Stitch.
I mean, I'm looking at a World of Warcraft one that has horns and has an accessory, and it doesn't have that either. So
On the back of the box, it has that little circle with a not for anyone between 0 and 5.
Well, that's
that
logical.
makes sense. Yeah,
But that's all I see.
but 14? Don't
What
get
is it
it.
like? Oh, we know you kids don't know who they are, so don't buy them unless you're... Oh my God, Brent, you're not gonna believe this. I don't know how this happened. I typed in Funko box, and if you scroll down a little bit, Stanley Cologne. I'm not joking. I wish I could show you my screen.
It's slowly
right
creeping
there.
in everywhere. It's like the Terrigen Mist. There's going to be a big cloud of Stanley Cologne just floating around the world.
Oh God. It'll have everybody talking like Stan Lee after it touches you.
Excelsior.
We love you, Stan. Don't get this mixed up with us not liking you.
Instead of saying hello, everybody's going to be like, hello, true believer.
No, that's my brother.
That does sound like something your brother would do.
He actually does. If you watch any of his reviews, he goes, hello to every one of my true readers out there. He calls them true readers.
So, how about some Game Gab?
Game Gab.
Yay!
Need some fancy, what do you call it, transition to Game Gab. Peter Pan.
We have a fancy... Do you ever listen to the show?
I meant a fancy one for this segment. I know we have a transition for the show.
For this segment, we do.
No. I understand we have it for this segment on the Hall of Toy Show. I'm saying for this segment for the Zone 4 special.
I don't know what you're saying to me.
I don't understand.
Isn't this a segment on Zone 4 right now?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm saying for this segment, we should have special sound effects.
Are you trying to add more work to me?
Yes, I'm trying to get that's exactly what I'm doing, Brad. I'm giving you more work.
I'm cutting you off.
You can't cut me off.
Believe me, I know. I keep trying.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
No, you know that.
I'm the only thing that keeps you laughing half the time on this show. It may be laughing in disbelief, but it's at least laughing.
You do provide comic relief. I'll give you that.
Oh, thank you.
All right, so diving into the
As I put Stitch into my Amazon shopping cart.
Of course you did. Well, he's
cute!
That's a nice segue, though, because Amazon just recently announced Amazon Fire TV. Now, this is more about watching TV shows, but the reason I wanted to bring this up is because it also allows you certain gaming capabilities. Specifically Minecraft. That's the main one they're kind of advertising. I'm sure there are others, maybe some more that they'll add later on. But
is this I don't have the link. So is this an addition to like if you have Amazon Prime, or this is like another separate program?
This is a box that you buy that you plug into your HDTV.
Okay, so that equals a separate program.
Yeah, it's kind of like Roku, somewhat. But
yeah, but if you have the Prime account, though, it unlocks all of those shows.
Exactly.
The Prime shows.
So you can watch Amazon Prime on your TV.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
how much?
It's $100.
Not bad.
And they have a game controller for the gameplay that's like $40, and I think you can get a bundle for $140 that comes with the game controller.
Question:
Yeah.
Is it $100 a year, or is it $100 flat for the box? You connect the box, you never have to worry about anything again.
I believe it's just a flat fee.
Yeah, you just buy the box.
Yeah.
It's like the Roku kind of, or Apple TV.
Yeah, and you can watch like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime. There's a bunch of different things on there you can watch.
I think tax return season is going to be very good for me this year, so I want to get that thing.
But you can the games that you can play. I mean, they were very clear that it's not a gaming console, but they do have a version of Minecraft on there. The Walking Dead, Telltale games.
Oh, sick!
The Game of Life, and there's a couple others. So
I played Life with Cindy. This is a little segue into board games a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up finishing the game with 3 children, a changing career, and I was like, what the heck did I just do?
It's life.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but the game of life, I had 2 kids without a wife. There's something wrong there.
I haven't played that game for so many years.
Yeah, me either.
And the kid stayed with me in the car, so it's like, I don't want this. I want a wife before I have a kid. Where did you come from? Did I adopt you? I don't know.
When you're a kid, you don't really think about that. You just...
Do you not get married in the game?
You can get married.
You can?
Yeah, you
I
can.
can't remember how it works.
Yeah, you have to land on that, though. I mean, you can. It is conceivable you can end up with kids without a spouse.
Yeah, and I'm sure kids get a great concept. Hey, Mom, I'm going to go out today and roll the dice and see maybe I'll land on the get married card.
Oh, shoot.
Come home, and then the mom goes, did you land on that get married space yet? No, I just got another kid.
But anyway, that's our show, everybody. We don't have an and action figure for this one. Tune in for the 1-year anniversary episode. We'll definitely return to that segment and much more. So,
and go to Brant and tell him you want the Zone 4 network. Part of iTunes. Radio show.
But
Bye.
But we're very happy to have Hollow Toys as part of this Zone 4 5-year anniversary celebration. Hope you enjoyed it. And like I said, check out zone4podcast.com for the rest of the episodes. And new episodes are on comicfrontline.com. Or Comic Frontline's YouTube channel, rather. So.
It's all connected.
Yeah.
It's all part of the wonderful world of the internet.
Yeah. So until then, take care, everybody.
You are now leaving the Zone 4 network.
No, we're just leaving Hollow Toys.
Oh.
We're leaving the Hollow Toys and going into the main part of the Zone 4. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this.
Well, we deserve to be the main part of the Zone 4. I mean, what other part could you have as the main part of the Zone 4?
The main Zone 4 show.
No, you don't need that. I was waiting for you to say, no, you don't need the main part. That could be the beginning, and then we could be like the main attraction.
We literally call our podcast Hall of Toys. We're in the hall.
We are the hall. Go. Hey, it's better than Toy Talk or Toy Zone. No, we're gonna call it Toy.
We have a segment called Toy Talk. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about Toy Zone. Yeah, that's it.
Hi, I'm Brant.
I'm Chris.
Welcome to Toy Zone.
The zone where we do toys. The toys do us. Yeah.
Okay. So again, thank you everybody, and back to your regularly scheduled Zone 4.
What's going on, everybody? This is the Comic Book Nerd Nation on comicrelated.com. This is going to be attempt number 27 to record this. I'm Fox2.
I am the Pirate.
This is Topher.
And I'm the whole effing Brian.
And we're here to wish Zone 4 a happy 5-year anniversary. That's a great accomplishment, guys. And if you're interested in checking out our podcast, you can find us at www.comicbooknerdnation.com.
All right, so we had a lot of fun with that Hall of Toys episode. Hope you guys check out that show as well. Like I mentioned earlier in the show, we have the 1-year anniversary episode coming up also. And thank you again for another congrats for the show.
I was going to question how much of a treat it actually was until you said Lisa was on there, and then I'm like, okay, it's true.
Yeah, she's pretty much the best thing about Hall of Toys, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
And she was actually talking about some games she's been playing recently, so that was cool.
When does she have time to play games?
In between the 10 million coloring drops, yes.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so with that, it's topic time.
Topic time. It's topic time.
Topic time! Yay!
Part 1.
Part 1!
Be
afraid.
What the heck are you talking about?
I know. All right, so we are going to talk about a book, the second issue of a series that we reviewed the first issue on this show before. 3 out of 4 of us liked it. The other one was kind of in the middle on it, I think. So this is Starlight number 2 from Image Comics. Mark Millar and Goran Parlov, is that correct? Parlov. Thank you, Parlov. Is the artist on it. And so what did you guys think? We'll go around the table. Ron, what did you think of the second issue of this?
I liked it a lot. I was one of the guys who liked issue number 1. and was eager to see where it was going to go. And, you know, I mean, really equally enjoyed the story as I did the artwork. The artwork is as fresh and European-like. He reminds me a great deal of Mobius, which is a good thing. It's always going to be a good thing. So I don't know where Mr. Parlow comes from, but I'm becoming a big fan of his work. And that's a big part of why I like this comic as well, because Millar isn't rushing his story at all. He's pacing it very, very slowly, so that we're getting a lot of pages with 4 or 5 panels tops, a lot of half, pages, 2 panels or whatever, and allowing this art to really shine. The story picks up where we left off exactly from the first issue in a real recap. Okay, guys? This is a very much an homage story of the old space opera heroes like Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon. Our main character is Duke McQueen, who sometimes in his youth was actually a colonel in the Air Force. He got transported via a black hole to an alien planet where he saved the Queen and the planet by fighting the evil ruler who wanted to take it over. But then returns to Earth because the love of his life was back here, and he comes back to her. They get married, they have a family, and everybody thinks he's crazy. Nobody believes he went to this alien planet and did all these heroic, fantasy space hero stuff. And he's, basically let that go. So here we go. End of issue number 1. We end with the clip, with the big surprise. The spaceship pops up in his backyard. We open with issue number 2, and you have that hint that somebody from this alien world has come back to get him. Mm-hmm. What you don't expect is it's a 12-year-old boy, all right, with purple hair, named Krish Moore, all right, and he is a riot. He is really, really cool. I love the interchange between him and old Duke. Okay. I like that playoff back and forth. Duke trying to tell him that, his request, because obviously a new threat has arisen, which I'm not going to give away. And Duke is needed back on, the alien planet, all this good stuff. The fun of this is the interchange between these two characters, which I really wasn't expecting. This kid character is a delightful surprise to me in the narrative. And it takes the second chapter, and again, like I said, there's a relaxed way of telling the story that just leads us up to the finale where they're now going to get to the alien planet and what's going to happen next. And that's the beat that I'm liking, because at the end of issue 1, I liked how he filled in the backstory with Duke. With issue 2 now, we're getting the transition that he's found the logic or reason, what the hell's he get here on Earth, to go back to this planet and see what's become of it. So again, I love the pacing of this comic. I guess it's the best way I can put it. I like the writing. I like the art. I'm giving it major thumbs up. That's my review.
All right. Gordon, what did you think about it?
Oh boy. Now I was one of the people who liked issue 1. Mm-hmm. And like Ron said, issue 2 is a lot more relaxed and a lot more slowly paced. So he is right in that regard. It is also dull as dishwater, because the essential movement is Duke McQueen decides, okay, he's going to go into space. He gets in the rocket ship. And the 12-year-old boy, who's kind of cool, says, shouldn't you put on the cloaking device? And he's like, nah, they didn't believe me for 40 years. Let's mess with their heads. And then they go into hyperspace, and then the issue ends with them on the alien world. And I kind of thought this book does something that Millar always does in his books, which is he'll start off his story really well, and then just go, you know what, I'm writing for the trade. I'm going to just kind of meander for a bit. I think had this content, I think this is also, because it really is, now the art is gorgeous, so I'll give you that. But it just seems like we spend more time with, Duke saying, "Oh, I don't want to do this," and "Oh, look at, is my spandex suit fit well?" There's really no sense of escalating stakes. It's just kind of like, okay, ba-da. I think had Millar maybe move some of the sequences around, where you kind of frame it as you've seen him on the spaceship and he's on his way, and you intercut it with the reluctance. It kind of would, at least for me, would give me a better sense of, oh, okay, here are the stakes, here's what happened, here's an investment. To me, it was just like, okay, he's gone from being on the Earth, to off the Earth. I kind of want to echo the sentiments that I think John said in the last episode when we talked about issue 1. I think John said, and John, please tell me if I'm wrong, if he's not off world by issue 2, you're off the book. I'm like, you know what? You took too long. If there isn't some major drama and major engagement in issue 3, I'm out. It's just, I kind of feel about this issue the way John felt about issue 1. And John will probably love this issue. So, but I just thought it was a huge misfire.
Okay. Well, I'll go next, and I'll save John for last. We'll see.
Okay.
But I'm more on Ron's side of things. I really enjoyed this issue. I appreciated the fact we kind of joked about, he's got to have that moment of kind of tight around in the middle. So I appreciated that they actually put that in there, because it was telegraphed. It's very obvious that's got to happen, stuff like that. But I think they played to what the story is about. I love the interaction with him and the kid, and him kind of standing out in the yard trying to think about this through the night, and then coming to that decision. What else have I got to do? So I mean, it was just, I don't know. I really enjoyed it. It is decompressed. I'll give you that. It's, but I like that, because too often, books these days are very fast paced, so they can fit that 6-issue arc into a trade, or a 4-issue arc, whatever. So they can get that all condensed, and when they do that, things start to feel a lot rushed. So I appreciate slowing down the pace a little bit more for me. And I think it was a perfect way to end it, with them ending up on the alien planet. So then from that point on, we can go forward and explore that. So I really enjoyed it. John?
Well, there's not much that I can add to what Gordon said, because I agree with nearly every bit of it. I'm the one who didn't like it, obviously, as already presented. The one thing I did like about this is they didn't do that jump around between Earth and the other planet. The back and forth really got old for me in the first issue, in addition to the trying to be cute and different in the art style. Going back and forth, they didn't do that, because we did have an incredibly slow plotting issue on Earth. I liked the kid. The kid was funny. The 84-year-old, 12-year-old was funny. I do agree with that. I liked him. He was kind of precocious, I suppose. But I did have a few problems with the supposed facts of the thing. Why it would take 24 hours to recharge when they've already established warp technology doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And the fact that this man was an officer in the Air Force, and he's just going to go flying his ship around and not expect to be pulled over by somebody is sort of ridiculous. But, yeah, for me, it wasn't as, I don't want to say the first issue was bad. I didn't find as much objectionable with this, but I think the fact was that there wasn't that much going on for me to find objectionable. It was an old man whining about being old. I've got myself for that. I don't need to hear an old man whining about being old. So,
can I ask you something?
But I mean, when he grouses about being 61, John,
yeah,
I'm like, you know what? At 67, I look better than you do.
Can I ask you a question, John?
You may ask me a question.
All right. If you were reading this in trade format, do you think it would still not hold your interest up to that point, or do you think it would flow better for you?
Honestly, the first 2 issues haven't really held my interest that much.
Okay.
At all.
Okay.
I am reading this out of obligation. So, the first 2 issues haven't really done it for me, so I don't see how, unless something major happens, which finding the planet destroyed, sorry, spoiler, was expected. I knew they were going to get there and something would be desperately wrong.
Mm.
You know, I didn't think they were going to get there and everything would be sunshine and flowers. So that was no surprise to me whatsoever when we saw what we saw in the last panel.
Mm.
Which, you know, and I'll put a variation on what has already been said. Millar has a bad habit of making a good beginning, a good ending, and sleeping through the middle.
Okay.
And that's what this felt like to me.
And if I may interject just to bounce up Grant's question about if I were reading this in trade form. If I were reading this in trade form, in the middle of issue 2, I would have thought, just get on with the story. You're spending way too much time with background, because issue 1 does a really good job in setting up background, because you really do need to get the sense that this is a guy who considers himself past his prime. His kids ignore him. Nobody, his greatest achievement, people thought he was nuts. So of course he wants to get on Earth. I don't think that I'm not sure how to say this. It's not that the content, the actual script is bad. I just wish what Millar had done is say, okay, let's really just start in the middle of him on the rocket ship. So we know he's made the decision. So we can see that relationship develop, 2-3 pages of, oh yeah, I fit in my old costume. Another one, 2 or 3 pages. So at least there's a sense that you're actually moving towards a goal. It just seems like it's very perfunctory. Like Millar's like, okay, it's 20 pages into issue 2. Yeah, maybe I should get these guys to the other planet at some point. It just really doesn't feel like there's anything more than, oh, we're in a rocket ship, let's go to another planet. And for this kind of space adventure, you don't need to be beat, but you should at least have the sense of, okay, if issue 1 is, this guy's not happy, the conflict is, a rocket ship just shown up, this should be, okay, he's got to decide. Does he want to stay on Earth, or does he want to relive this? And then that way, the ending becomes even more of a shock, because, okay, we know he's made this decision. We know how he came about this decision. They come and bingo, last page answers every question and pushes you to move forward. And at this point, I just think the story, as it's told, just skidded to a halt.
Okay. I respect your opinion, obviously. I disagree because I think they did do that. I think we did see that decision made with silent panels as he was reflecting and contemplating.
Let me just bring up one little item here, I guess, and I think we can call, all our final decisions on Starlight number 2. I think and this is why I'm eager to get to this, Grant. We get 2 books to review this week. Mm-hmm. And as I've given my review of what I thought of this book, I read it first.
Yeah.
Then I read the other book, Dynamite's Flash Gordon number 1, which we'll get to after some audio clips or whatever. I don't think it could have been a more appropriate book to have, because when we get to that review, honest to God, everything I loved about Starlight, and all the bad things I hate about comic writing, I found in Flash Gordon. So let's move on.
Yeah. Did you want to say one more thing, John?
Well, I was going to say it shouldn't have taken 22 pages to get there.
Okay.
I agree with what you're saying in theory. It shouldn't have taken us 22 pages to get there.
Yeah.
I like Gordon's idea. Start him on the rocket, flash him back for 3 pages. Because if we get a whole issue of him just deciding, we're going to end up with an incredibly quick and truncated resolution.
Yeah, because my issue is not with the script. It's not like Millar could have done X things differently. I just think if playing with some of the timing and some of the sequence of events, I think would have really, it's like, literally it would be like, well, stick this page over here and stick this page over here. Because you could get both, and then there's the sense of escalating. Yes, we not only see how he's coming to the decision, but we're seeing the consequences of that decision. So I don't think it's the script. I don't think it's the script. I think literally it's just shift some pages around, and I think you'd have a much more engrossing story that moves the story forward. As it stands, it just really just doesn't. It builds to a climax too quickly.
Okay. All right, so it seems we're split down the middle on this issue. Do we want
one over?
Yeah.
One more book, I'll have another.
Yeah. Do we want to read?
4-year-old, I'll be here.
Yeah. Do we want to do the third issue? That's the question. Do we want to give it one more issue before we decide whether we're going to continue covering it?
Yeah, I say let's give it one more issue.
Okay.
Because is this a 6 issue or a 4 issue?
You know, I honestly don't know. It may be an ongoing for all I know.
If it's 4 issues, he's in trouble.
Well, yeah, I'll agree with that.
Yeah, he would be, and I don't believe that's the case.
No, I'm thinking it's ongoing.
I get the sense it's ongoing, and which will mute a lot of the negatives that we discussed here. I think this is going to go way beyond 6 issues, and I'm all for that.
Yeah.
So
as an ongoing, I see issues as well, but we can cover that later.
Okay, so we'll at least cover the next issue, and then we'll decide from there. All right.
Segue.
So now we have another segment for you. Again, we were supposed to record a 10-20 minute segment of the RaynMan Power Hour, and instead we ended up recording an hour and a half. So you're going to get a sampler of this episode and the full episode of the show. I'll tell you what's going to happen with that at the end of the show when we do announcements. So we'll pause for that, and we'll be back with you for our other review.
Welcome everybody to RaynMan, whatever the hell this is. That's what we're calling this episode.
Can you guys hear me now?
There you are.
Yes, we can.
I was yelling the whole time while you guys are talking about the Avengers and shit. Yeah.
Were you really?
We didn't hear a word.
Yeah, I could hear everything. I was sitting there talking about Brant's like Norman Bates moment with his mother.
Yeah, I just put a wig on and let myself in.
So you heard my idea about the jogging? Did you hear about that, Frank?
Naked?
No.
No, I think he came in after that.
Oh, you want Bill? You want to jog? You want me to jog and me pass you up and go left?
No, he's going to pass you up.
It's like I thought about we can have Brant find a sound of 2 people jogging and have me say on your left, and you can say, "You motherfucker! I can barely walk, let alone run. You know that."
No, actually, I should be huffing and puffing and go left.
Either way works.
Having trouncing footsteps, left, then have a thud. Hey, oh my God, he passed out.
That's it. I'll be like, somebody get this man some oxygen.
Huh. Okay.
Now, the crazy 50 cap, I think Mark elaborated a little bit more on that, but that's been popping up a lot. There's just not Mark that's mentioned this. And there's a very interesting date in the movie on some footage with Peggy Carter, which is the exact same year that the Craig's 50 cap was supposed to be created. Like, I'll be damn, right there. That's fucking Marvel. They're on the ball. Meanwhile, DC has announced they're moving their movie back to 2028. By that time, Marvel should be done making films altogether.
Yeah, Then they'll have to recast the entire thing.
They'll have them all cryogenic free.
Yeah.
All the actors have agreed to be a 4-movie deal and be frozen for 20 years.
Or either that, or they're actually going to try to do Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns with. They need the cast to age before they can get there.
Or they do Kingdom Come. Everybody's old and everything. So it's like.
And Bill, did you get a chance to listen to last week's Zone 4 yet?
I did not, with all the mayhem going on. Not get a chance to listen to it yet.
Understandable. Frank, did you listen to it?
Wait, I'm sorry. I didn't hear the first part. Say it again.
Did you listen to last week's Zone 4 by chance?
Was it bad?
No, it's... Well, no, you were on it. What am I thinking? Jeez. I'm losing it. Bill doesn't...
I was wondering about that question.
Yeah, Bill hasn't heard the song yet.
Oh, I didn't listen to it.
You were on it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Shit, I thought you meant you added music to it. I'm sorry.
No, Carrie's song, which I did add at the end of the episode as well.
Oh, yes.
Can you play the song?
He sang a song for you.
Can you play it? Do you have it right now? Can you cue it up? Or?
I can't with this software that I'm using now.
Okay, I'll try to listen to it when I get off the phone with you guys. I have a note right here. Listen to Zone 4. It's right there. Take a day. But things got interrupted.
Ding, 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 ding. Bill Gladman back out of the podcast again. Bill Gladman is never here when he says he will be. Bill Gladman, we don't even think he's a real person anymore. Bill Gladman, we miss you.
You said you saw Game of Thrones already, Brant?
Yeah, I watched it earlier today.
And I got to tell you, they did do a nice little job of pushing through the broad strokes, like between Jamie and Cersei.
Mm-hmm.
They got quick to the point on that.
You know what? I haven't read the books, of course, so I don't know exactly what you're talking about there. But I liked what I saw. But
no,
Ellie and
because they jumped into. Okay, you watched it, right, Bill?
Yeah, I watched it. I just finished it.
They jumped into the fact that Cersei just said, "Nope, don't want to be with you anymore."
Moved on.
Where it was,
I murdered people to get back to you. It's like you were too late.
Yeah.
Well, it was a little more hodgepodge in the book, where she kept kind of, trying to, she like in the book, in the books at this point, she keeps she wants to what's what I'm looking for. Like there's a little bit more that Jamie sees her. There's more of a reckoning that he sees her for what she is. Right? Not the quick. Huh, you're too late, pal. Should have been there.
I like the you're too late, pal. You should have been there. I like it. But I'll tell you what, Ellie and I have watched a lot of television in the absence of Game of Thrones to kind of fill the void, and some of it was damn good, including True Detective. But as soon as Game of Thrones comes back, you say, "Oh, fuck all that other dumb shit." It's like,
I really liked the episode. I liked the last scene with Aya. That
was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Perhaps I should pick my teeth with it.
Yep.
How do you feel about the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. right now at this moment, Frank? What do you think that we might see tomorrow
I
night?
think you should just say what you should say to Brand about me right now. Just say it, Bill.
What are you talking about? That's what I'm going to say.
Bill. Just say it, Bill.
You say it for me, because obviously you know what I'm going to say.
You just say thank you, Frank.
He's going to say you're supposed to say you were right, Frank. Thank you.
Oh, okay. I'm apologize. I'm slow in the uptake, but yes. Thank you, Frank, for making me watch all those horrible episodes of S.H.I.E.L.D. until they got good. Thank you very much for making me realize I didn't really waste all that time. That it did pay off. But I will still say, please kill everybody on that damn play but Coulson. And just do Deathlock and Garrett and Sif and Lorelai, and I'll be happy. But
I like Sky and all. Actually, I like all of them.
But anyway, let's segue into Gym City. That was this weekend as well.
But Bill.
No, we're talking about Gym City now, Frank.
I know we're talking about Gym City, but I want to make one plea out to some
Okay,
people.
I was just kidding anyway, Frank. It's part of your show too. You can talk.
Brian, what city do you live in?
Winchester.
Winchester. I'm talking about the one person Winchester. Please go over to Brant Feller's house, knock on his door, let him see some sunlight.
I'll have you know there's plenty of glass doors and windows in this place.
I guarantee you, I'm just worried because he's going to be some grizzled Howard Hughes type with nails like the length of literally nails, and he's peeing in bottles.
Nosferatu.
Oh. Yeah. But anyhow, Gem City.
It's about the comics. He makes the show about the comics. His panels are about the comics. His people come in and play cosplay stuff. They're dressed up like the comic characters. They're not dressed up like people's like, who the hell's that guy? Well, he's some guy from blah, 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 blah. He's dressed up like a very old honky-tonk man. No, he's dressed up like freaking Red She-Hulk. A guy dressed up like Red She-Hulk? They don't want to see that. But anyway, it's a comic book show. And he makes it, and next year is the 10th anniversary of this comic book show that continues to grow every year. It gets more and more people there. And I'm just very, very happy that he allows Frank and I and good friend Brian Carson and Rachel to an opportunity to play in his sandbox, and actually gave us the opportunity to do 2 additional panels this year on Sunday. And I enjoyed the panel. I did a whole lot. It was about comic book cover artists. It was very well received. And I stayed in and watched Frank do a panel that featured Dustin Carson and Chad Lambert and Victor Danridge, by far 3 of the best indie writers in the southwest area of Ohio. Maybe because all of Ohio. One of the covers is King Size Hulk #1. Cover artist is who, Frank? You know who that guy is who did that cover.
Wait. I'm sorry. Which one again? The phone faded out.
King Size Annual #1 Hulk.
Oh, wait. No, Bill.
We just met him. We just met him in Lexington. You know who he is.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Strinko.
Jim Steranko drew the cover on that. Almost drew the cover on that. That's one of the covers that I had. I had a couple of trick covers in there, of course, but I got schooled on this because Ted told me something about that cover I did not know. Steranko drew everything on the cover, but they had regular Hulk artist Marie Servan redraw the face because they did not like Steranko's Hulk. I'm actually retiring from collecting comics. I've gotten all the comics I've wanted to buy. Spent 38 years of my life doing this. I'm very proud of the collection I put together. And I wanted to have a party, a retirement party, next week, as a matter of fact, with some of my friends that's been with me when I bought some of these books, and then we saw some of the comic book films and been to some of the comic book conventions together over the years. And I was telling Mark about that, and I asked him to sign the last new comic that I ever bought at a comic store, which was Daredevil 27. Mm-hmm. He's like, he just looked at me. He's like, "All right, Bill, this is the last one. I'm not signing no more." An eerie thing happened there too. And there's I don't know if Frank saw this. I know Rachel did. John Wilson saw this. Chuck Moore saw this. Matter of fact, I begged John Wilson and Chuck Moore to get a picture of this gentleman, but I don't think they managed to track him down and get a picture of him. There was a guy at this show that looked so much like Ron Fortier. I thought it was him. I had to do a double take. Rachel had to do a double take. Chuck Moore took a double take. And it's like, is that Ron? And the only thing that really stood out that made the difference is that the guy was wearing a Tennessee Volunteer hat, which makes him a little bit more cooler than Ron.
Yeah, but, Ron definitely wouldn't be wearing that hat.
No, he wouldn't be wearing the hat, and unfortunately he doesn't like the best college team in football. But that's what caught my eye at first, and I was like, oh my God, it's Ron. And I went up to start to talk to him, and by the time I got to him, I realized it wasn't Ron because I heard him talk. If I didn't hear him talk, I would have said, Ron, what are you doing at the show? And the guy would have said, who the hell are you? You're not. My name's Gary. But as soon as he was talking to the person he was with, there was no thick Boston accent.
Right.
And I realized, that's not Ron. This guy doesn't sound like Ron. Oh, wait a minute, that isn't Ron. So it's like, but he looked so much like him, it was really crazy. Frank, did you see him by chance?
No, but I'll tell you what, he's lucky you didn't turn around, punch him in the face, ask him, "Where's my money?"
Yeah, I was going to say that. Bill, you owe me money. Ouch.
Where's my story, Pat?
Yeah, story. I've been waiting for 2 years. I'm writing it, Ron. I'm writing it. I just got the first.
A word a day.
Yeah. You just
the Brant Fowler blow-up doll.
People would know Frank if he got out. I mean, That's what he needs to do. He just needs to walk. I bet you right now, Brant, is it raining where you're at by chance? I don't want you to get wet.
I don't know, but I'm upstairs, so I'm not going all the way downstairs.
Oh man, I bet you if you walked outside just for a minute, walked outside, picked up a stick in your front yard, somebody would have stopped you and said, "Aren't you Brant Fowler from the RaynMan Show?"
They might
have.
have.
Good so far, guys.
Yeah.
Brant.
Yeah.
Brant.
What?
Do a quick bit saying,
Brant!
What does... Shut up.
Brant!
God damn it. Now listen to me. We should just have left 30 seconds of Brant! Brant! Bill!
Where's my daughter?
Hey, you should do a quick, so what does MODOK think of the RaynMan coming back? And then go, what do I think? And then you just beep it out.
Okay. Oh, you mean now?
No, not now.
Okay.
We can do it afterwards.
All right.
Do it now. Do it. If you can do it now. Why don't you do it? Do it.
All right. So
what am I...
we just do it, Brandon? You can just add your voice later on?
No, just what am I supposed to say?
Well, you say, so what does MODOK think about almost like a commercial spot, what does MODOK think of or however you want to say it? MODOK, what do you think of the RaynMan show coming back on?
Oh, okay. All right.
And then, of course, I'll tell you what, why don't I just do some random swear words as MODOK, and then you can just beep them out.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Hey, MODOK, so,
Hey! I won't do that no more, I promise.
Man, Bill, now I have to compose myself. All right.
Okay, everybody, we are back, and we're going to do the Octagon.
It's the Octagon!
It's been a long time. Some of us forgot what it was. I hope you didn't forget what it was. It's the idea that Frank came up with a long time ago, and it's where we just throw out 8 random things. Each one of us has 8. We go through the list. The other 2 guys chime in. You can't give any details. You just got to pick one. And Frank, as always, it's your baby. You created it. You named it. It's yours. Start it off.
My first pick, Mark Waid.
You got to have 2.
Or what?
Mark Waid or what? Mark Waid or MODOK. Mark Waid or... See, some of us did forget the Octagon.
Nope. In this case, it's Mark Waid or Mark Waid.
Then in that case, I go for Mark Waid.
Brant?
Joey.
Who?
I don't know. Mark Waid, of course.
There you go.
John Byrne. I want to change my answer to John Byrne.
Brant?
Brant, how about you? Next one.
All right, movie Star-Lord or movie Human Torch, Evan's version.
Loopy Star-Lord? Is that what you said?
No, movie. Guardians of the Galaxy, Star-Lord.
Or Chris
or
Evans.
Or Human Torch from the Fantastic Four.
I'll go Star-Lord.
I'll go Star-Lord.
Human Torch.
Human Torch. All right. How about mine's going to almost make sense compared to you guys. I don't know. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or Arrow?
Oh.
No, I got to go. Right now, Arrow. No, S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm sorry, S.H.I.E.L.D. I meant S.H.I.E.L.D.
Arrow.
Really?
Yeah.
I gotta go Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I'm not
Back to
happy
you, Frank.
about saying that.
Oh man, you're gonna get kicked off of Zone 4. Then welcome back to. We got a little bit of an Octagon Plus tonight. It's not really Octagon, but we're going to do it in this segment of the show. Good friend of ours, Tony Maiello, was recently on Comic Book Man. I don't know if you guys watch the show or not. I know I watch it. Brant, I think you watch it from time to time.
Yeah. I'm behind.
Frank watches it from time to time. He actually got to talk to Tony about being on the show and got some art from Tony at Gym City this past weekend. But
yes, a special shout out for Tony Maiello because you know what? I appreciate anybody who has a name, and he has a little bit of he has somewhat of a name, and he hooked me up very good for what he did for me.
Yes, he did. He's a great guy, and That's a great episode. I told him I would bought that Spider-Man piece for $5,000, but he had to sell it to Walter for $18,000. He missed out. But anyway, there was a discussion on that show about the top 5 Spider-Man artists of all time. And Kevin rudely cut off the conversation, and they never got to finish the list. But I was wondering if we could do that real quickly. Your top 5 Spider-Man artists of all time. Try to keep it to Amazing Spider-Man. And who wants to go first?
I will start with the one that I didn't realize he did the art, but I did like. It was Gil Kane.
Gil Kane? Is that who? Where's he come in? Do you have him ranked in anywhere? Number 5?
You know what? I'll have him 5th.
What's that? 5th?
I'll have him 5th.
Do you have a number 5, top 5 artist, Brant?
I do, but I don't think he did amazing. He did sensational.
No.
Shoot his name out. I'd be surprised.
Huh?
What's his name? Maybe he did some amazing you don't know about.
Klaus Janson.
No, he may have inked an issue here and there, but he didn't draw any.
All right. You do yours. Come back to me. I got to think of a 5th one now.
My 5th one is going to be Todd McFarlane. Todd
right.
McFarlane is my number 5.
Okay. My number 5 is going to be then Ron Friends. Hey, this is Brant Fowler from the RaynMan, whatever the heck this is. And we wanted to share with you the process that the DC think tank goes through to plan their movies, specifically Batman Superman. Or as we like to call it, Crisis on Infinite Marvel Movies.
Can somebody explain how Marvel's new Captain America film just made $300 million? It was just an hour ago. It was only an hour ago.
And they are kicking our...
No, pal. But that stops right here because right now we are going to figure out how to make a good comic book movie that kills us.
Come on, it shouldn't be that hard. It doesn't take a rocket surgeon to figure out something like this.
What the are you trying to say?
I'm just trying to say we may not be the brightest crayons in the tool shed, but we can do this.
Shut the up. You say it else 10 minutes, and I'll punch you in the balls. We need something.
You know what? I think Batmite would make a great movie. You guys just don't believe it? Batmite.
Where's my super suit?
The all-new, super spectacular 52.
Superior Superman.
Up and away! Up and away!
Oh, your red cape. Oh, your red cape.
The all-new 52, designed by Joel Schumacher.
The entire Marvel family, even the horse dude.
Wonder Woman, killable.
I'm telling you, the next character we need is, Crypto. Crypto needs his own movie. I think Crypto could carry his own film. I'm telling you. Or
Rob Liefeld rocks.
Brant Fowler peas in the bottle. We could beat them in the punch at last. Wait a minute. We got any werewolf characters?
Not really. We do have a hyena, or maybe 2.
Hyena? Are you kidding me? Me running backwards. I give up. You know what? Let's just do another Batman movie, for sake. And you know what? Let's get Christopher Nolan to do it. Again.
But that would make our 9th Batman film.
We ain't got no one else. We know that. They knows that. And everybody knows that.
Yes, we're canceling all the titles. Yes. Replacing them all with Batman. All 52 titles, Batman. Perfect. That'll be our new event for September. Sounds great.
Anybody got Justin Bieber's phone number?
Hey, Zone 4 crew, it's me, Mike Spiderslayer from Comic Frontline. Happy 5-year anniversary, guys. That's a huge achievement. And I'm not going to take up too much of your time. Just like you guys maybe wasted 4 hours of my time. When I mean you guys, yes, Brant Fowler, that was you with your Marvel Phase 3 April Fool's joke. And John with your new 52 was a whole joke to begin with, which it is for a lot of people, but I spent 4 hours of my life trying to plan news around that and shows and stuff. So thank you for that inconvenience. But enough about that. Guys, I just wanted to say each and every week you guys do a phenomenal show. When I go to work each morning, I try to listen to your show each and every week, and it's a fun experience. And one of my favorite times of the show is topic time, mainly because Captain Ron is topic time. So it makes me laugh each and every week. So you guys always put a great show together, and I couldn't ask for anything more. Hopefully, one day the guys at Comic Frontline and the Zone 4 crew can do a great collaboration and do a podcast all together one day. Just a thought. So, guys, until Rob Liefeld draws and writes The Amazing Spider-Man, this is Mike Spiderslayer signing off, and I'll see you guys in the next comic book review. Happy 5-year anniversary, Zone 4. Take care. Bye.
All right, so lots of fun having the band back together with Frank, Bill, and myself. Hope you guys enjoyed that little sampler and look forward to what's next to come. But for now, it's Topic Time Part 2.
Topic time. It's topic time.
Yay! Topic!
And as Ron mentioned earlier, Flash Gordon #1 from Dynamite Entertainment, written by Jeff Parker with art by Evan Shaner, is our second review. Do we want to go in the same order, or we want to reverse it?
Well, hey, like I said, I've already mentioned the fact that I see, pros and cons with both issues.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't mind, I'd like to get into that and explain why.
Okay. All right, then you can go ahead and start.
All right. A lot of the talk of Starlight 2 was about pacing. A lot of our discussion came around that. Is it good? Is it bad? How do you correct it? How do you fix it? Flash Gordon, #1 from Dynamite to me, is everything that's bad with comic storytelling today. And that's, we don't take enough time. And Jeff Parker really doesn't take any time at all right? You get a couple pages of Flash on Earth to introduce the characters. And when I say introduce, I am basically saying give him a handshake and pat him on the back and send him on his way. There is no real characterization given at all. And I wonder sometimes if that's the hubris of these editors saying, well, everybody knows Flash and Dark Azarka. You know what? That's not how you do comics, okay? You have to assume that you have readers who have no clue who these characters are. But instead, we're given a couple of pages of them on Earth, and then suddenly, out of freaking nowhere, we're on planet Mongo being chased by aliens of Ming the Merciless, and it's just helter-skelter, like, let's get to the action, people. I hated it. I absolutely hated it, okay? It's everything that this attentive disorder generation has going for it, all right? Nobody can sit down and tell a story and fill it in, all right, and do it properly. And if there's a danger in being too slow, Flash Gordon to me is the page boy example of being too quick and smart ass as a writer. It's way too fast. It's bang, 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 this planet, that planet, throwing in these little humorous jokes about characters that I honestly don't know and I could care less about, so that by the end of the issue and its cliffhanger on Borea and meeting a blue-skinned Prince Baron, again, these are classic characters, people, going all the way back to Alex Raymond, whatever. I've seen every kind of iteration of Flash Gordon you can think of, all right? And by far, this one is the worst. I like the art. Sorry, I'll give the art thumbs up. But storytelling-wise, I thought this was a piece of crap, and I don't want any more to do with it. Boom.
All right. So, Gordon, what'd you think?
Well, since Ron didn't like it, I'll gladly take the issue two, because I actually liked this. I actually liked this. I like the fact that when I was reading the first couple of pages, and admittedly I read it after Stardust, I thought, oh great, this is going to be an issue of how they all get together and, threat towards Earth. And then the next page, they're in the middle of stuff. And so there is this sense of dislocation and loss. And I'm sure that there's a possibility that in 2, they'll flash forward and it's like, okay, well, let's plug this thing in, zap, and they're lost. I like the fact that there's at least an effort to tie it into, like, modern science type stuff. like with wormholes, because if you watch a lot of those early Flash Gordon serials and read a lot of the original strips, a lot of them are they're pretty pacey. They may not be ADHD, as Ron said, but they do tend to go at a pretty swift clip. I like this issue. I mean, I think this is an issue that, it's the kind of issue that I wish Stardust 2 was. It is a little disorienting, but when you're dealing with science fiction in this kind of space opera, you don't necessarily want to do a lot of, I think it's a really well written script, and I think Parker's done Agents of Atlas and some other things, so it fits right in. So I absolutely liked this issue and would gladly read issue 2.
Gordon, I have to ask you in all fairness, though, okay? All right, you have one up on this that the average 13-year-old doesn't, and that's who these characters are, and their place in the drama. Now, be honest here. If you didn't, wouldn't that confuse the hell out of you?
If I didn't, the way it's written, you kind of learn things as they go along.
But not enough. You can't tell me you learn enough.
Well, that's why you have an issue 2 and an issue 3. Okay. I mean, it's not. It's you have to give you have to give the reader some credit. You can't. A lot of storytelling now is not simply just, okay, I'm going to sit and I'm going to give you this exposition. It's like, I think what Parker's trying to do is kind of just throw you in, and we don't know. I mean, is this an ongoing or is this a miniseries?
I believe it's ongoing. Yeah.
Okay, so I can see where, and I think Parker set up the year ago, flashback, then right now. So I'm sure we will start learning about these little bits of character throughout the series. But a series like Flash Gordon it's as much about the Wang Bao, the gee whiz, really cool stuff, as well as it is, nobody looks at Buster Crabbe and thinks, well, he gave a very nuanced, subtle performance as Flash Gordon. Okay? This is, all you need to know is it's an action guy, a professor, and a girl on a spaceship fighting an evil king. I think it does what it says on the tin. It's not Watchmen level, but you know what? For a first issue, it does what it's supposed to do. It gets me to read issue 2.
Well, I'm going to be siding with you, Ron, all show, I guess, because I absolutely hated this issue. And I'm a Jeff Parker fan. I loved Agents of Atlas. Some of his more recent stuff I haven't been on board with, but I too read this right after Starlight number 2, and the word that keeps coming back to me for this issue is disjointed. I thought it was all over the place. I agree. I have limited knowledge of Flash Gordon. I've seen the movie. I've seen some of the crappy television show, and but I haven't read any books or comics or whatever, or comic strips. But I at least knew who the characters were, and even I was just like totally lost through this thing. I couldn't follow any of it. Like you said, Ron, it was jumping from here to there, and it was just, there was no build up, there was no characterization. I didn't care about anybody in this book. I didn't care what was going to happen, where they were. It was just a bore fest from start to finish for me. And I don't want any more of it either.
I don't want to sit here, and go, okay, every single, comic book has to be linear,
right.
Begin at the middle, go to the middle, whatever.
Of course.
There are ways of changing those things around. I think one of the suggestions, in fact, that Gordon gave for Starlight was, changing some pages around, which I think would have been nice. What I would have done with Flash Gordon, is started on Mongo. I'd have pitched him right in there, fighting like crazy, and then had some flashback sequences. But he doesn't do that. He the way he sets it up is like he's gonna go linear, then pushes you off the cliff, and it's it's gimmicky to me, and that's the best way to describe it. It's really storytelling gimmicks, and unless you can play out who these characters are and why they're fighting for their lives, in a much more succinct way in the number of pages you have, this gimmick fell apart to me. It was a gimmick, and again, I can't buy it. It's just All
right, so now we find out if John Wilson stays on the same track he was with Starlight 2 or not. John, what did you think about it?
When did I become the arbiter of taste for this thing here? Okay, well, I have to say, I don't hate it. I'm disappointed in it.
Okay.
Because I did so love Agents of Atlas.
Mm-hmm.
You too.
And this is so very much not that. In my opinion, if you're going to do a famous character like Flash Gordon, you have the obligation to make it more interesting and better than what came before. Otherwise, why do it? It makes no sense to put out stuff that we've seen before and stuff that is subpar. I started to be interested, even though the dialogue is extremely clunky. I start a point is I'm in fact not a NASA public affairs rep. Mr. Sittin, I'm a side journalist. Okay, someone needs to take that sentence in for a fitting, because that is the worst attempt. You can't, it's like the joke they used to make about Star Wars. You can't say this line. You can read it, but you cannot speak this dialogue.
Right.
And that should be your watchword for anything that you're writing coming out of someone's mouth. Can you actually speak it? So I was a little bit interested in what they were doing on Earth. I was interested in seeing what's up with each of these three characters that I know. Because I know from the movies, I know from, some comics, I know from cartoons who these characters are. So I do go in with a very somewhat deep knowledge of Flash and Dale and Zarkov. So I was a bit interested in seeing what different things they were going to be doing on Earth. When we suddenly switched to Mongo, I was like, I've seen this. Flash is being chased. He's out flying his captives, or his attempted captors. He and Dale are arguing. I've seen this. This is nothing new to me. This has been done. And for a writer like Jeff Parker, that really surprised me. Mm-hmm. That it had the first couple of pages, and speaking of which, I hate the layout that this thing did on me. The side-by-side page thing.
Yeah.
I really don't like it. But yeah, this was nothing new for me, and it was like, oh, he got away from the inept guys, and he crashed on a planet, and why isn't Queen singing in the background? Because this is the movie.
Hey, can I bring up something a minute, John? Just to interrupt you, because it just dawned on me while we're talking about this. All right, again, because we're talking about Flash Gordon. All right, I just want to bring this point up. This is actually the second Flash Gordon appearance in a Dynamite title. He's concurrently appearing in a much better interpretation in a team book. They're now doing a miniseries called King's Watch, where he's teamed up with the Phantom and Mandrake the Magician. And if you aren't picking up that series, let me give you all thumbs up. That's Flash Gordon. Okay, it's a much better written series, and I'm sorry I don't have a copy in front of me right now with the name of the people doing it. But that's Flash Gordon, and it's really sad that in his own title he doesn't come across as he should.
Well, the Defenders of the Earth comic are
right, exactly,
right there. Yeah.
Yep.
As we're talking, I kind of have a thought, and maybe I want to put this out there. When we discussed Mark Waid's Green Hornet, I mean, one of the issues that came up was we thought maybe it wasn't so much the writing as the editing, that there are certain things that just didn't gel. I'm wondering if there's editing, if this, just given what John said about the dialogue being clunky, because I do agree, some of it is kind of awkward. And also maybe the approach is that you have two different editors with two different approaches, where King's Watch is more of the, and I haven't seen it, so it's more of the quote-unquote traditional Flash Gordon, whereas the editor for this one, Parker might have turned in the script, instead of saying, hey, look, you're going too fast, or hey, look, you need to give us something to introduce these characters more, said, oh, this is great, you need to amp it up and let's go, because we need to make it appeal to X audience. I mean, would that be a fair thing, that maybe if this had been better edited and actually maybe Parker been forced to possibly rewrite his script, it might be a better issue?
Well, here's the kicker on that.
It's a possibility.
No, here's the kicker on that. I just looked up who was doing King's Watch. Jeff Parker.
Okay.
Jeff Parker's Parker's
So if that doesn't add to Gordon's idea here, is that it may be writing the same character in the two different editors.
Yeah, that's possible.
Right. Packaged and edited by Nate Cosby. This one is. It's interesting that they use the word packaged.
But I wonder if it's a case where when Dynamite negotiated with King Feature Syndicate, or whoever that company is now, King Feature said, okay, well, we want you to you can do the Defenders of the Earth, but you can't do it as Defenders of the Earth.
Right.
But with Flash Gordon, it's got to be its own thing. We don't want you doing anything else that hits on it. So that's why it might be quote-unquote packaged, that it's like, because Dynamite they'll do the same character, they'll do infinite variations on the same character with no continuity.
Yeah.
Right. And I would argue that I know Ron and Brant hated this issue, but this issue is not as bad as the Black Bat #1 by Dynamite. Now that is a stinker of a comic. That is a comic that should be covered by the Geneva Convention. That is just horrible.
Just to add, both books were packaged and edited by Nate Cosby. So.
Well, there you go.
Let me throw a little something in there that I do know about this, okay? Because I just discovered this fact. About 6 months ago, because I'm good friends with an artist from Brazil named Joe Bennett, and Joe is doing a lot of their old. I think he's doing Solar and a couple of other things for Dynamite. And he and I were talking, and I said, "Well, how's it working with Dynamite?" And he came back and said, "Well, I really don't know." And here's the thing: when you see this packaged by Dynamite's actually just subcontracting this Cosby and his crew, and they're putting comics together for him.
Oh, wow.
Turok, Son of Stone, all the old Dell comics, Valiant comics that are now showing up at Dynamite are all packaged goods. Editing, story, art, everything. They're just buying them as packages.
Wow.
That's concerning.
Yeah, that is concerning. I don't like that.
So there you go.
Before we get too far away, my only other problem with this is the art was extremely inconsistent.
I didn't like the Time Warp art style that they did.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that the one that they have down as the artist is not doing the backgrounds.
Oh, really?
See, that's
he's
possible.
only doing the foregrounds.
Yeah.
Right. This is coming out of studios, John. Then that's what you're going to see a lot of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you look at it, I mean, if you look at some of the panels, it almost appears as if the foreground has been pasted on the background. And look how, if you look at the bungee jumping scene, look how ultra detailed some of the background is. And then look at how more simplistic the figures are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I noticed that
it,
too.
Yeah, and the space are in the first dogfight, the first part of the dogfight. It's the big panel. It's extremely obvious.
That's quite possible, like you said.
Yeah, I mean it's damn near 3D. In that panel that says today.
Yeah.
Because the dramatic difference between the backgrounds and the foreground action. So yeah, that concerns me as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that happens all the time,
Sure.
but usually they try to marry the styles at least a little bit.
Right.
If they're going to use different artists for foreground and background art,
Right.
they at least try to marry it, or the background artist at least tries to ape the style of the, I guess what you would call the main artist. But yeah, this is not at all.
I do really like the backgrounds in this book.
No, the backgrounds are beautiful. I mean,
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Sometimes the foregrounds are beautiful,
Mhm.
or at least nice. And then sometimes it's just mud. It's very simplistic. Not to malign Jeff Smith at all. He's fantastic for what he does. But it's very much Jeff Smith art.
Mm. Okay.
It's very much out of bone.
Right.
That very simplistic line work that, that you get in that. And then sometimes, like, if you go to, I don't want to beat this thing up, but if you go to the very last page, the last two panels are so distinct for me it's not funny. It's where Dale screams Mongo.
Mm-hmm.
Silence Pilot, I am in a Starden. Okay, look at her face there. That's a fairly detailed artistic face. Look at her face in the next panel when she's Indian style on the Aborian's arms.
Yeah.
Look at how cartoony and silly that looks.
Yeah, I get your point. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not just the fact that it's a farther away shot or anything like that. That's just extremely minimal work right there.
Mm.
She looks like she was done by C.C. Beck. It looks like old Captain Marvel art. That kind of infinitely closed eyes and smirk sort of smile.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah, and my problem with the when they're in the time warp thing.
Oh yeah, the little.
Yeah, where they're kind of twisted or whatever.
Yeah, the twisted and the multicolor.
Yeah, it looks like they took the black and white art and just did a bunch of Photoshop filters on it.
Yeah,
that's honestly what it looks like. And
they spherized it.
Yeah, and added some light lens flares and stuff. It just
right.
It really bothers me. I just don't like those panels. But yeah, all right. So Gordon liked it, so that's good. I'm glad you liked it, Gordon. Seriously, sincerely.
I see no need for the Arborians to be blue either, but that's beside the point.
So there you go. That's our take on Flash Gordon #1. And that ends topic time. That almost ends our show. But we do have some more audio clips, so we'll be back with you for the announcements and the close out the show after that.
Hey Zone 4, this is Matt K from Cinema Joe Podcast. Want to say congratulations on 5 years and hope to have you for 5 more. Cheers.
All right, so once again, thank you to everybody that sent us congratulations. We really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed this big anniversary episode, and hope we're around for more to come. But before we get out of here, we'll do what we always do and go around the table and see what everybody has coming up, coming out, and going on. Gordon, you want to start?
Okay, good. Well, first this Wednesday, with the Doctor Who meetup, we are having a screening of The Gunfighters, which is a 1960s story that's a Western, or for new series fans, it's kind of like Town Called Mercy, only it's intentionally funny. If you would like to see an old guy casually waving around a revolver, if you'd like to see a guy in a loud shirt sing off key, you definitely want to come this Wednesday, 6:30 at Third Coast Comics at 6234 North Broadway. It's just off the Granville Red Line station. C2E2, I will be Saturday. I'll be leading a session called Whose Doctor Is It Anyway in the Fan Village. That's Saturday at 11:45. Check your programs for location. that Sunday, I will also be running a panel on publishing new pulp at Windy City in Lombard. I'll be dealing with Ron and again 3 other gentlemen whose name I cannot remember at this time. And May 3rd, I will be part of a panel on problematic portrayals in Whedon shows. I'll be part of Joss Whedon's celebration at the DePaul College of Communications at 14 East Jackson. The event is from 9 to 6. I will be there. The panel I'll be part of is from 12 to 1 in room 1400. But there will be food. Come, say hello. Come for the whole show if you like Buffy and Firefly and Angel and Dollhouse. Feel free to come. If you are a person who's been kind of talking smack about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., all I have to say is, booyah. Okay? You have been owned, okay?
Yep, you have. Oh.
All right.
And that's it.
Not just owned, but pwned.
There you go. All right, Ron.
Oh, okay. A couple things I want to bring up real quick. We can get through the stuff. I want to thank you, Brant, for the kind words about Airship 27's release of our second children's book in the Barry Baskerville series. Barry Baskerville Returns, children's book, written once again by Richard Kellogg, art by my buddy Gary Cardo, and this is the story of a 10-year-old boy whose hero is Sherlock Holmes. And we had a lot of great critical feedback from the first Barry Baskerville children's book. Parents loved it, educators loved it, and we're really, really glad to get another one out there alongside of it. It's available at Amazon and in Kindle form as well. As far as Airship 27 production is concerned, we just released a brand new Lance Starr book. Lance Starr being our aviation hero. Lance Starr Sky Ranger Volume 4 is now available at Amazon and on Kindle. And tip of that pulp hat to Gordon, who was the associate editor on this project and really appreciated his services on this. Appearance-wise, I am going to be at the very first ever Fort Collins Comics show. It's called the FOCO Comics and Gaming Festival. It's going to be held April the 19th. That's a Saturday at the Drake Center here in Fort Collins from 11 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon. And Zach Howard from DC Comics will be there. Mike Barron will be there. I believe they have like 16 guests on hand. Role-playing games, etc. for the whole day. It looks like a lot of fun. So if you're anywhere near the Fort Collins area, from Denver, come on up. From Wyoming, come on down. Look forward to seeing you there. This is another note that Brant will appreciate. The abortive Spider-Man Domino Lady comic book series that I have been writing for Moonstone got a little sidetracked because there were issues with the license for the Spider. The creative editors, teams, and publishers got together. We're still doing the series, only the Spider has been replaced, and it is now the Black Bat Domino Lady series. Artist Michael Dorman has been redoing some pages and doing brand new pages. And just so you know, Brant, issue 1's almost all done. And once it is finished, we get it off to you for lettering. I've been contacted by Joe Gentile, and they definitely want to keep the series going beyond this first storyline.
Oh, nice.
So, awesome. So we will be doing this for a while, buddy. Very cool. Finally, my own personal output stuff. Last year, I was asked to contribute to an anthology that the name will give things away. It's called The Pride of the Mohicans. And it was such a cool idea. Editor-writer Van Plexico is a huge fan of the Michael Mann Last of the Mohicans movie. Mm-hmm. And so what he had this idea of doing was an anthology that would feature 4 brand new stories featuring Hawkeye, Chingachgook, and his son Ungus in adventures that would take place prior to the movie. Sort of like prequels. Mm. So he put the word out on the net to writers, and as the Blast of the Mohicans is one of my all-time favorite American classics, I immediately jumped on board to sign on. And so the book is finished, and it will be out and available from White Rocket Press at Windy City Pulp and Paper Con. I have the story, and the other 3 are by writers Ian Watson, James Beard, and Frank Schindler. So be on the lookout for Pride of the Mohicans. There you go.
Awesome. Very cool. And John?
Pride of the Mohicans. That's about robots, right?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Before I get into my one little announcement, I need to tell a couple little stories of missed opportunities.
Oh, yes.
This past weekend, actually, I was at the Gem City Comic Con in Dearborn, Ohio, or wherever it is. It's at Wright State University. I had a loyal Zone 4 listener actually come up to me and identify himself as such.
Nice.
And I totally forgot to get the man's name.
You get an anonymous shout-out.
An anonymous shout-out. If you are listening, definitely send us a message, and I want to shout you out because we had a brief but nice little conversation about the show. When he said I'm a loyal Zone 4 Legionnaire, I actually said, I'm sorry.
Did he bring you bacon? That's the.
No, he didn't bring me bacon. No.
In that situation, John, what you say is, I'm sorry, you're confusing me with someone else. My name is Bill Gladman.
Yeah. Why would I want to admit to be Bill Gladman of all people? I mean, the only thing he has going for him is that he has a really fantastic and wonderful daughter. Other than that, he's in a lot of trouble.
Well, he has an awesome stash.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he does have an awesome stash. I can't quite grow a stash like that.
So this guy actually listens to the show every week, huh?
He does. He's a loyal Legionnaire, and we talked briefly about the show, and I want to say I even wrote my name down on something. I don't know. I was being asked to write my name down on stuff that had nothing to do with me all weekend. But yeah, he did. So if you are the gentleman I met at Gem City, please make sure to send us a message and we'll give you a proper by name shout out.
Yep.
The other thing is, Ron, I found I don't know if he seemed very nice, so I guess that makes you the evil twin. But
you have a doppelganger, Ron.
You have a doppelganger that I'm not the only one who thought he looked dead on like you. Gladman, Frank Rayner, Chuck, all of us thought he looked completely like you. Sadly, I did not get a picture. I didn't have my camera with me. My wife was out doing her job as staff photographer.
Okay, John, before we go any further.
Yeah.
And I only ask this because I know it's an interest of one of the people you just mentioned. Were all four of you drinking at the time?
Actually, not on this occasion. We were all stone sober.
I tell you,
at the con.
I have got to keep them pesky clones locked up.
I know.
They're just getting out more and more these days. Ugh.
Maximum rottage.
Yes, he dressed much better than you do. He was much more dapper than you. Doesn't try to pull off those goofy ball caps or anything, but
here we go.
But yeah, you definitely had a doppelganger, and we were all shocked. It took us all a moment to go, that's not wrong. Why would Ron?
Thought the captain surprised everybody, huh?
Yeah, thought you had snuck down.
There you go.
So that was two of my interesting things that happened this weekend, and if people want to see other stuff that happened this weekend, go to Comic Related and check out the multiple galleries of photos. I've got a whole series going. I'm up to 5. I think Chuck may as well be up to 5 or 6 by now, so go check them out. And I put a heck of a lot more photos in my gallery than he does at a time, so apparently between my wife and I, we got a lot more pictures than he did. But speaking of my wife, I need to mention once again her River City Comic Expo, which is May 10th here in Louisville at the Mid-City Mall from 10 to 6. It is a Saturday, the Saturday following Free Comic Book Day. I can tell you we are completely sold out of tables. So
Nice.
we are at capacity. We have a few more folks that need to pay. So I'm going to have to go out there with my leg breaking stuff and get some money out of people. But other than that, we are completely sold out and ready to rock. So
It's awesome.
we will of course take plenty of pictures. There are 4 panels that will be running, all done by people that, well, with one exception, all done by people that we know and are all part of the family. Chuck and Jenny Tonic will be doing a podcasting panel. Victor Dandridge will be doing a You Create Comics panel. The Ringtails will be doing a panel on creating comics. And then my friends in the Corn Island Steampunk Society will be doing a session on steampunkery. So, there you have it. If you're in the area, come check it out. It's free to the public. If you're not in the area, keep an eye on Comic Related because we'll put a ton of pictures out there. And that's it for me.
Cool. All right. So for me, first of all, I will be at the River City Comic Expo. So in 30 days or so, give or take, there will be a Brant Fowler sighting.
Yes, there will.
And I'll also be at Derby City Comic Con June 28th and 29th at the Kentucky International Convention Center in Louisville as well. So 2 Louisville cons, 2 Brant Fowler appearances. Will the wonders never cease? All right. And also, speaking of Zone 4 and Bill Gladman, the RaynMan Power Hour, you got the clip earlier. I said I'd talk more about the full recording that we did. We are going to air a full episode of RaynMan this coming Monday. So yeah, RaynMan is back. I don't know how often, but it's there. And either in this clip that we heard on this show or in that full episode, we'll actually get Bill's side of that story of the fake Ron sighting.
I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah.
The faux 40er.
Exactly. But it was a blast getting the guys back together and doing a full show. We had only planned on 20 minutes, and we ended up doing a full show with a skit and everything. So it's going to be a fun one to listen to. And I already mentioned Hall of Toys. There'll be that 1-year anniversary episode of that, possibly coming up next Tuesday. So we'll see how things go with that. And Binary Gray number 7 I'm working on now. Number 8 is almost finished, so both issues of that will be out soon from Assailant Comics. And there's a couple other things that I'm lettering. I don't know when they're going to be released yet, so I'll hold off on announcing those. And I think that's it for now. Oh, no, I did have one more announcement concerning Zone 4. I almost forgot about it. There is a new podcast coming to the Zone 4 family. It's a new podcast by Chris Ventura, who is our co-host. And I'll be on a segment of the show, and there's going to be another Zone 4 connection that I'll talk to you guys after we go off the air here. That you guys might be involved with. We'll see what happens. But the show is going to be called It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's a Podcast. And it's going to be a mixed mash of comic talk, and there's going to be various segments that kind of interchange between episodes, and Chris is going to be talking about some of his childhood memories and his life outside the pages and stuff like that too. So it's going to be a fun. At first it's going to be weekly, I think. We're going to see how that goes, and then go from there. So lots of fun stuff coming up for Zone 4, and that's it for me. So that's going to wrap up our big blockbuster 5-year anniversary episode. Hope you guys had fun, and I hope we're here another 5 years to do a 10-year.
Right. Wait till you hear what's coming the next 5 years.
Exactly.
Be afraid.
Yeah, especially episode number 745. You guys will love it.
Yeah.
And we should mention next week we are talking about Captain America: The Winter Soldier and recent episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So.
Oh, we're gonna geek out. Look out.
Yep, absolutely. And that'll probably take up our whole show. We probably won't even do headlines. We'll just do that.
Yep.
All right, so lots to look forward to for episode 265 and all the other stuff going on around. But that's going to wrap it up. So we would like to thank, once again, our sponsors for this episode, Audible.com and C2E2. Go to audibletrial.com, C2E2.com/Zone4 Podcast for that 30-day trial and free link download. C2E2.com, April 25th through 27th. Come visit Comic Related at tables D1, D2, and D3. Signings going on all weekend long there. Also, we'd like to thank the official bands of Zone 4, the Raywall Band, and Society's Plague that you hear on the show each and every week. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions for us, you can send those to zone4@comicrelated.com, and that includes auditions for the lady co-host of Zone 4, as Gordon mentioned earlier in the show. And that's going to do it, so thanks for listening. You are now leaving Zone 4.
Good night, all.
See some of you in a year.
Hail Hydra!
Whoa, whoa!
Bacon!
This has been a Gonzo Goose production.